In my, like, right? Isn't it? I feel like I should wait for my dad because he'd probably be super into this topic. Yes. Does anybody want to join the call and say hi real fast? I'm gonna hop in my VC. If you're part of 221B Baker Street, you should be able to join. If not, join a different one and I'll drag you in. But if that's still broken, I'm gonna want to know why. It's coming on now. Cool. Yeah. New place. I'm gonna set up a really cool backdrop. Is the plan. And yeah, just gonna be more space in general. It's pretty cool. Pretty stoked. I have so many mugs on my desk that I'm taking. Like my Twitch one. Dad needs to write something in chat before I believe him. But yeah, tell me about you. What day is it? It's the 30th. It is a Monday. Oh, it's a Monday. How's work going? Do any of you even work on Mondays? And when does Grunge work? I feel like he's never at work. Oh, this is cute. Yeah, Mom, this is Tosh. I told you about Tosh. That I've known her just as long as I've known Hayden. Oh, he works from home. Oh. How did I not know that? Do you know? Okay, well, I'm just gonna start because I am antsy to start, and gosh, the next few days are gonna be work intensive. Okay. I'm holding off because Hayden, as far as I know, is still in here, and he's going to be like, Shar, don't put yourself in the little corner. Because, like, I don't know, look at my hair, I guess. Because when I get shoved in the little corner, like this, it's like, oh, where's Shar? Where'd she go? I'm all the way up here. Barely visible. How dare she? But if we're gonna learn, I have to have this big screen so we can all learn together. Get your notebooks out. I'm giving you 2 more minutes to get your books out before we dive in. Hi, Ash. Good to see you. Sam's ready. Are you getting your COVID test Wednesday for the job? I don't even know that I have it. They haven't confirmed anything. It's time to be real. Anybody that has Be Real. Ashton Kutcher is here? Wait, what? Where? Oh, Ash. You think I would know better by now. Yeah, he's still there. Okay. Yeah, I'm giving you 30 more seconds. Oh, hi, Grunge. He's here. Let me put you in the right. You're coming out of my speakers and not my headphones. All right, now you should be good.
Like, I'm cool to join, right?
I mean, when we're doing the actual lesson, it's going to be difficult because that's a lot of
Oh,
people
like,
talking over each
I'll
other.
just let you listen to the, I won't speak when you're doing school.
When I'm doing school. Let's all hold hands. You got it. Dad still hasn't spoken in the chat. Let him speak. I want him to educate me. Okay, Grunge, is there anything you would like to educate chat on before I start?
Tell me a topic.
Give him a topic, everybody.
I can educate.
What do you think he's smart at? Fluid
Fluid
dynamics.
dynamics. Gas is a fluid, I will say, and anyone that believes otherwise is incorrect. That is all I learned in fluid dynamics. Air is a liquid.
Hayden, why would you do that? That's all I'm going to be doing tomorrow, Hayden. Why would you redeem that?
Yeah, okay, bud. Look at the computer engineer trying to tell the mechanical engineer something.
Well, do you mean like gas for a car? Because excuse you,
No, no,
gas
no.
is
So
a gas.
gas can be treated as a fluid, and I think it should be. Not gas that you put in a car. I'm talking about like oxygen.
Well,
Um,
I had to. Tosh redeemed that.
yeah, no,
Uh, no, no, wait. That might be true because pretty much all of our knowledge about alcohol is turning into you have to turn it into a gas and then it condenses back into a liquid. And they repeat that process over and over. Thanks, guys. I can do a better impression. Your money's worth. Okay, so next
you mean
month.
the ideal gas law, Ash? Like you don't even know what you're talking about. This like just completely discredits you.
Y'all are too smart for me. I've already
I
been
think
doing enough work learning about doctors and stuff to know about engineering. Oh my gosh. January is the month of learning things. W
no,
should.
I'm not very smart.
Yeah, okay.
You're that, or I hide it well
What does this
because I don't
mean?
talk about work. So like,
Good morning, Mike. It's 8 p.m. where I am. Anyway, it's been 13 minutes. I've given y'all enough time. It's time to get educated. Get connected for free with Education Connection.
all right. So now I stop talking, right? Because you're doing
Yes.
class. Okay.
I mean, you're going to have a lag if you're going to stay in the. Oh, look at that. Into Pix. Let's go. And Prime. Ash, wonderful, wonderful.
OMG.
Yeah, thank you for the Prime. Very nice. Yeah, you're going to be lagged if you're going to be in the call.
Yeah.
Hayden, is there anything you would like to educate people on about anything?
Well,
Careful now, think about it.
I don't know what we're discussing. I haven't had
Literally
my audio
anything.
on.
Anything.
Ukraine.
Oh, you
Thanks
you
for
want me to
that.
give advice on the Ukraine?
Yeah. Can you educate me on how to solve the Ukraine,
The
Ukraine?
UK, the
Ukraine?
Ukraine.
Shut up. The Ukraine Russian crisis. Just give me in a single
Honestly,
sentence. Solve it for us, please.
make them all smoke weed so they calm the fuck down.
Oh, I was gonna say meditate.
No, that's dumb. That's not gonna work.
The nah,
Meditating by doing the what's the name of that pose where you stand like a strong person, like
the
chest
I
truth
out.
think
of.
I think chemically
Oh,
giving
power
people more
pose.
Yes,
empathy
they just need to
is a
power
good
pose a little
idea.
bit, and it'll.
I don't know. I think Putin has been doing a little bit too much power posing.
I don't know. I saw that Reddit post where Putin was wearing those lifts, and he still looked really short. Just saying. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, the
What do you mean
heels.
he's a
You know
short
what I'm
king?
talking about? No, but like short king. Is that what it is?
Short dictator.
He's got that short dick energy. You know what I mean?
Thank
Short
you.
dictator energy.
Mwah, for the 100.
Oh my God, Tosh!
Hype train's close. Hype train's close. Thank you, Tosh. Hate the player, not the height. Oh. Oh.
Ash.
Ash.
Ash is
Oh,
going ham right now.
Wait,
yeah, he's
I
going ham.
wait, I think Ash was the first one, so it doesn't count. Hype, 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 hype. Did you hear that Michael Jackson's nephew is going to be playing him in the biopic? Tosh, you know Andy?
Why does everyone keep saying W? Tosh, what does W mean? Does it have some sort of secret meaning? Is it like PogChamp, but like a single letter? Holy moly,
PogChamp,
synthesizer
Kappa
Sam!
Kappa PogChamp, Kappa Kappa PogChamp, Kappa Kappa PogChamp, Kappa Kappa
That is the
PogChamp.
hypers right there.
There it is. Thank you so much. 11 months. Oh my god.
At last a stream I can do this.
Oh,
I thought
by
it
the
was
way,
gonna be
Shar,
PogChamp again.
Shar, I just wanted to say I loved your Instagram story today.
Shut up.
What? I did.
Do you not know what W means?
I think it must mean like W for strong woman, right? Is that what it means?
No. No, are
It
you
couldn't
being
mean
for real?
win.
Yeah.
It
No,
couldn't
he's
mean win.
joking.
There's
You're
no way.
falling into a trap right now, Shar.
No, how dare you?
What trap am I falling into? What's he gonna
Into
say?
Hayden's trap.
Yeah, what's he gonna say?
Wait,
He's
I forget,
bullshitting. Like, what do you
guys.
mean?
I can't
He
even remember
definitely
what we were
knows what
talking
W
about.
means.
Oh, I don't know. No, definitely don't know.
Okay.
W.
Listen, I know that Hayden is a very good liar. Because
Listen.
Among Us
Hayden
really got me.
fakes ignorance.
Okay, Shar. I
Hayden,
feel like
I like
everyone
that.
here, except for me, is a good liar.
You know what? Let me
I
tell you
got
something.
tricked by you both so many times.
Tosh, Hayden fakes ignorance. I think that could be. I like that.
Thank you for the tier 2, by the way, Paul. Love
Tier
it.
2.
Yes, sir. Have I lied to you? I mean, in this room. This room? Not for much longer.
Oh my god.
We're at 83%.
Tosh, you're in 221, right? You can join if you would like.
Baker Street.
It's not going to be educational. I mean, I don't know.
Do you guys want some educational stuff? Do you guys want to hear something educational?
Thank you for the 100 bits, Tosh. Oh, this is helping my moving costs, which I now know the definitive number for, which is really good. It feels good.
Is it good or horrifying?
It's good for me because I just like knowing.
If I've learned anything about New York City, the best thing you can do is just ask a bunch of strangers walking on the street to help you move.
I don't
I feel
trust
like
it.
people would help you.
I
wouldn't do it. For
one, the people where I live are like, a lot of them probably wouldn't be strong enough to help me move.
But then, like, also you could have asked, like, why didn't you ask friends to help you move?
Just think, a single boba tea with tapioca might inversely help you with your moving fund. How so? What do you mean? What does that mean? A single boba tea might. Oh, it might negatively. Got me. Got you. No, Ash.
He's saying it's going to take you out, JFK style.
No, but Ash should know that I no longer have that debt.
Thanks, Biden.
Thanks, Biden. You can stop making fun of me now, everybody. Because it's no longer a thing.
What did I say? Tosh, I don't remember what I said.
Not canceled.
What?
Wait, what?
No, not college. Just the boba tea.
I'm very dumb.
I used to owe $2,000 to the hospital for going to
the for
because
boba
I
tea?
drank boba too much.
I'm not. Can I tell you guys a story? I'm not making this up. I want to go get I got a letter from the hospital today. So when I went in, like for my shoulder, like when I got like separated, and they got me a sling, right? They're like, hey, do you want a sling? Like one of the nice ones you can upgrade for $20. So I was like, sure. So I did it. And I got a letter today being like, you still owe us $20. Please, it would be really nice if you could pay us. Not, we're going to send this to collections or anything. It was literally just like, hey, do you mind paying this? That'd be really nice. Thanks. And I was like, oh, okay. And like, I went and paid it, but like, I was just like, they weren't like, you owe us money. It was like the most polite collection letter I've ever seen in my life. I was like,
That is
oh,
very
this is nice.
Canadian.
Like I want to go get the letter and read it to you because I was like, this is fucking. They sent me that letter too. Yeah, you know what's up. Yeah. She's like, hey.
Dearest Hayden, hey, some of this. I know it's lagged for you. I'm doing the finger points. You
Yeah, no.
maybe
Ash is so right.
give us some money back, the $20.
You know what? Like, listen, everyone. I've told everyone I'm more than happy to marry and give healthcare to people. Okay, it's a strong commitment to marry me on paper. Okay, that's
I
a
can't
lot.
do that if Hayden's making me marry someone else.
Yeah. Okay, you can marry Ash. Hello.
Dude, I lived
Hello?
with you. I lived with you for a year. That was a
Yeah.
huge commitment.
Yeah, exactly. So Ash and I have pretty much been married. Okay.
Oh, more than that, man.
I
Yeah.
love how I can hear Peachy.
I don't think I can marry you. Hayden.
You can gay marry me.
With that
No,
attitude,
like
Does it give you the
no,
same benefits in Canada?
because no, I just
Logistics.
can't have I can't have citizenship in another country.
Oh, you can't, you
Yeah.
little traitor.
Right.
Yeah.
Like before I accepted my job, I had to renounce every single citizenship
even your
You-
family.
I had. And yeah, in every other country except for the United States.
Pain.
Wait, Grunge, I thought you were American. You're not?
I am American, but my parents are not. And then I used to have
You didn't know his parents are Jamaican.
yeah.
Actually?
No, they're
No.
not.
Can't you tell?
I don't see race, man. I don't see race. I don't see color either. It's
I like to eat bacon in the morning.
Bacon.
Bacon.
oh guys, I'm flying to the US next month.
Nuh-uh.
It's a
Oh,
where?
where you? I'm excited for you,
Where?
bro.
Where?
I'm going to New York to see Charles. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to Texas.
Okay, I thought I was gonna
Say that. Why not come to New York?
I will soon. I will soon. But
just take a rental car and drive like 30 hours to New York.
do I have to get like any more vaccines? Because I know like the US is like very like wild and out there. Like
Have you
Not
got your
really.
your herpes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and all the way up to 12 shots? You got all those?
Jesus. Oh, CJ Spy. I can't pronounce that name. Holy shit. I'm visiting a client and friend.
They call them Krens.
AKA Kit, because Kit lives in Texas. True.
Yeah, no, I think you'll have fun in Texas. I'm gonna definitely, depending on where you are, I'm gonna arrange for you to fire some weapons for sure.
Potentially. I'm excited to go to like
No, not potentially.
experience
Oh my
food. I want
god,
to
we're gonna get you an
experience food.
AK. Get you an AK. Fucking. Oh, it'll be so good.
Okay, I need to know the hierarchy. Dunkin' Donuts, Chick-fil-A, what other Olive Branch, what other like
Olive
American
Branch? You mean Olive
He
Garden?
just called it Olive Branch.
Yeah, Olive
Yeah, I
Garden.
love going for dinner at the Olive Branch. No. Sick.
That's the Olive Garden inside the Oval Office.
Yeah, the Olive Branch.
There's
Yeah.
also one called Walgreens. What's a Walgreens? Is that
So
like a
here's the thing.
Walgreens?
You're in Texas. You're gonna have a lot of good barbecue and shit, right?
oh
I feel like we need
Yeah,
a
that-
Texan in here to be able to say this is true or it's just a stereotype. Because it's not fair to be like, that's an Ohio thing without an Ohio in there present to moderate.
listen, I'm ready to get shot. I'm not ready to get stabbed. So maybe Ohio might be like
No, that's New York.
later.
That's New York.
I was in New York. It was actually pretty nice.
Yeah,
But
but-
when I was there for like a day or two, it was rainy.
Yeah, be worried in Ohio you might get stabbed with a heroin needle.
Oh,
No, you won't. They want it for themselves.
Oh, similar
Okay.
to like when you walk into Hayden's room, you often get poked by things.
Yeah. He's talking about my penis, and it's fine. I'll let it slide,
It's
just like I
what
would.
other things could that? I mean, things you 3D print.
No, but
Yeah.
actually, Hayden, he actually uses a lot of marijuana syringes. Like
No,
there are a lot of marijuana syringes lying
Yeah.
around.
no.
the
My
tree.
guess is that he prints a lot of his Christmas trees and then he like glues them onto his
Yeah.
wall, so it's just like
Yeah.
one big,
Yeah. Yeah.
one
You
big
guys
Christmas
haven't
tree.
seen Plug Wall?
Oh my
Oh,
god.
I'll have to set you up. Yeah, no.
There was like this
I regret
there
picking
was
that
like
up.
this children's TV show. It was like a flying like bed with like a kid, and there was like some weird animal underneath the blankets. Anyone else remember that?
You are ringing bells.
Like, you know what I mean, though, right?
Yes. Was it Peter Pan?
No. Let me ask ChatGPT.
Ash, I can't even begin to tell you all that. It's just potential.
Oh, it's called David the Gnome. Wow,
Nope,
that
don't
was
know it.
really
I'm gonna go
no, that
ahead
was
and
not it.
update this thing real fast.
Chat GPT updated your resume. Yeah, so
By the way, CJ, if they were to copy your resume and paste it into a GPT-2 algorithm checker, they would actually know that ChatGPT wrote it, unless
but
you
that's
paraphrase.
okay.
That is actually a really nice jacket. The red one, very hype beast.
You're having an earthquake?
Jeez,
I think he's lying.
10.4.
Yeah, well, that's
How
definitely
bad is that?
lying.
Wait, that's a 2014 movie.
No, I hear it's pretty warm in New York today. It's like 50 degrees right now.
Jackie bought a snowblower because we're getting like meters of snow every day. It's horrible.
All right, well, I gotta learn about alcohol
Wait, why?
because that's what we're doing this month.
Yeah, we have
Oh,
to stay
okay.
quiet while she's taking the class.
I mean, I could stream it for you, but you just have to know that, like, not to really talk over it because we gotta learn things.
Should I create a notepad? Should we take notes?
That's what I'm doing. I mean,
Will
I'm
it be a
getting
quiz?
I'm getting a certificate out of it.
If a quiz is quizzical, what is a test?
A quiz is a test is a longer quiz. Wendy's, hey.
But then what's an exam versus a test?
No, it was supposed to be if a quiz is quizzical, then a test is.
Balls.
Yes, Hayden. There we go. But like, yes, Jamie. 10 points to Jamie. Finally. I love you, Jamie. Jamie for president.
I was spelling it wrong. In my head.
Testicles?
I was spelling it like physical, like CAL at the end. So that wouldn't even make sense.
Oh.
Y'all, you don't want to learn? My God.
Let chat. Oh my God, Shar, just program a bartender on Chat GPT.
What are you talking about?
I'm gonna do it right now.
If olive oil comes from olives, where does baby oil come from? Ew.
Babies. It comes from babies.
Dude, I
You-
find babies to be so like human babies in
it
particular.
takes
So
it
gross.
takes it takes 50 babies to make one bottle of baby oil.
I've
That's
heard that before.
yeah, that's what I've been telling Republicans. That's what they do with aborted babies. Anyway,
Dude, why couldn't
Yeah,
human babies be as cute as animal babies? Like,
I
why animal
understand.
babies super cute, but
I
human
understand.
babies are like Shrek?
Because they don't have fur.
I mean, that's actually probably the main reason why, I guess.
Unless it's
I
like a
guess.
little Sphinx cat baby.
Dude, I like Jamie. I feel like they
You
brought the
like
right
Jamie?
atmosphere.
They just answered your question. That's all.
I know, but he answered
My mom
correct.
says, and you have to squeeze those babies really hard.
Oh yeah, no, you have to. Yeah, you got to put them in a press.
Oh no,
That's,
it's making me very uncomfortable.
You're the one that said it.
There's a very special machine.
I've seen it. That little X-ray machine for babies.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you guys were talking about the balls. I'm like, wow, that's really concerning.
Speaking of, next month we're gonna be
Okay,
learning how to
Ash.
juggle. Just FYI.
Ash,
Yeah.
do you want to make an automated cocktail thing?
Oh, with the parasolic pumps, we actually
Yeah,
can. Like, it's
yeah,
actually
that's
super
what
easy.
I'm not.
I
I
already have it.
literally looked up. Ash, my search is: can you write me a program to make different alcoholic cocktails using peristolic pumps?
I
That's
already have it programmed. You just need
or
to tell me the
peristatic pumps.
ratio.
Yeah, like that's the thing. If we you could have like a perfect cocktail every time. Can you imagine like selling stages a rum and coke machine? Boom.
No, it would actually start to cost them money because they would actually have to, add in
No,
more.
no, because they just have to measure and they can say 0.8 of a shot, right? So like,
Oh yeah. No, actually, I thought those bartending bottle cap thingies. It comes with a self-closing like lid where like it's calibrated to stop dispersing liquid after one shot worth of liquid comes out of it.
Whoa, what? That would be perfect for me because I haven't practiced my pouring yet.
I think that's what it's called. Let me ask ChatGPT.
Ask the AI.
oh my god. I'll be honest, it's pretty crazy what you can do. A rum and coke machine. That's what you need, yeah.
The new Keurig. It'd be called
Oh, it's called a jigger or a shot measure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the metal hourglass looking thing, right?
There should be one that which is in line.
Yeah. We learned that in our very first class stream.
One of them is like 2 ounces, the
Oh,
other
it's
is
called a
1 ounce.
speed pourer.
Right.
It's called a speed pourer. The one which I think, yeah, it's called a speed pourer. That's that stuff you put like it's a spout that is inserted in the top of the liquor bottle.
Right. Maybe I need to get one of those. I would like to have a bottle and just be able to practice with water.
Are you gonna do like those cool tricks where like you juggle them into the air, you do a backflip, and then bam, that's a Campari shot, perfectly
Well,
poured.
next month we're learning how to juggle, so maybe those two things will collide.
Ooh, is that the bar at the Broadway thingy?
Well, that's what I'm planning on applying to.
Yo, my memory is that of an elephant.
What about an elephant?
My memory, I remembered that.
Oh, yes. Right.
Oh my god, Ash, like I'm looking at this.
I was going to say, Mom, just like the one at 7-Eleven. Who
I just
even
wrote a
needs bartenders
program.
anymore?
Yo,
It's
you don't even need them. I just wrote a program and I defined whiskey as 2 ounces of volume and the Coke volume is 12 ounces, and it will mix perfectly in a way like it. Oh, it prints whiskey. Oh, that's so beautiful.
It prints
Yeah.
whiskey.
Sweet Petite 27. It's actually super easy. I think the hardest part would be ensuring that the parasolic pumps that are calibrated properly. But it would be like it would still be very accurate. It would be not too difficult.
Yeah, so like we don't yeah, like depending on what they are, those peristolic pumps are like accurate within like
1 milliliter.
0.1. Isn't it less than 1 milliliter, right? Like it's
I would say 1 milliliter.
yeah, like I know, like it's nothing, right? Like
But
it's
to be fair,
non
Hayden, to be fair,
yeah.
we wouldn't need an accurate dose like that. Like a cup
Yeah.
is like how much? 250 ml.
Yeah, well, yeah, 230 something
So
or
like
whatever. Like it
like a
depends.
variance of like 5 ml per drink is
Yeah.
acceptable, right?
So I'm just trying to figure out. Hold on. So I'm gonna look and Coke.
Yeah, it's like one of those. Have you seen the robotic chefs that know how to make
Yeah.
10 different meals or something?
Yeah, that
That's
was
the
also a
dream.
startup. It was called I think it was Jeffrey.
You listen, I'm a robotic chef.
I know, you just live too far away. Do you know how much
I
I
know.
want Hayden's fried rice? Like, so bad.
Oh my god, you have no idea. It's so
So
fucking
bad.
good.
Like,
Wait,
it,
It's so good.
what did you put in it?
I have mastered fried rice. Okay.
Why
he's
didn't you
eating it for
master that
every
shit when we
meal.
lived together, brother?
What?
Why didn't you master that shit when we lived together?
Bro, because I didn't know it was possible. And plus, listen. You already
Listen.
got someone there in the house that can make bomb fried rice, okay?
Yeah, to be fair, like our housemate Jackie, he's
Oh, that's right.
yeah, he kept us
Yeah.
stocked with food.
Yeah.
My mom's fried rice is better.
Then
Hey,
Jackie's?
plug your phone in.
I believe it's better than mine.
Yeah, it's better than yours.
I'm still hungry, guys. I actually did groceries
hungry
for the
too.
first time today.
I'm
Oh
so
my
proud
god.
of you.
Yeah.
I can't why don't they have
What are you looking
Okay,
for,
hold
Hayden?
on. I'm just not looking for the right thing.
You need help cooking rice. If you want to, like, I'm gonna see if my rice cooker still works, and
Like
if it does, it was the
no,
best product ever.
yeah,
Yo,
so they're
cooking
like
game?
20. Put one on your what do you call it list?
Wish list?
Your
Amazon wish
wish list.
list?
Yeah. Yo, so this is pretty crazy, Ash. I think that we could make um a drink thing that made drinks. Oh man, that'd be
How many different input
so.
drinks are
Here's the
you
thing: it's just you could have it start by
Wasn't Wobble?
right, but you could have maybe you could even have two because you could have three different things. So you could have Jack and Coke, like whiskey and Coke, or vodka and Coke, right?
With one pump is like minuscule in cost. You know, you
I
just have
know.
you could have like 6 different drinks.
That's what I'm saying. As long as they were all controllable.
Yeah, it would be.
Okay, I'm gonna do this first lesson. You guys can like hang out.
You want me to test you?
I mean, I'm already gonna be tested. You can help with the test.
Okay.
I can stream this for you guys in chat. Maybe we'll see how that goes. I haven't done this in a while. I haven't had to share my screen in a while. Hopefully you can hear it.
Bubble-a-boom, bubble-a-boom.
The meat was surprisingly like southern off the smoke pit. Whoa. That's amazing. Where was it from? You're not in New York, are you? Okay. Let's go to beer
Yeah,
basics.
I live in New York.
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
Das Bier. Oh ja.
Oh yeah.
I'm learning a lot about a lot of things. Chat GPT is fucking phenomenal. Okay, it's the teacher that knows everything. You ask it a question and you're like, maybe it won't know. Oh, it does know.
I will
You
say
need
it.
to stop talking. You can't talk over the lesson.
She's trying to study.
Why is it frozen though?
Because
Okay.
you're ice cold.
Oh, Hayden, I was gonna show you something relevant about music production. I totally forgot what it was gonna be.
Oh no, I already saw the Google one. I already saw
Oh
it.
yeah, I sent
And
it to you. I sent it to you. Yeah.
bro.
You're
My
funny,
internet's
man.
frozen.
It's so high beats per minute that like it will actually destroy your favorite genre of music.
Bro, I was listening to it and I went through every audio and I understand what it is. And so their next step, and like people don't understand this, but everything they did was in mono, right? There's no stereo. And as soon as they start incorporating stereo and having different signals coming from each ear and things like this, oh man, it's game over. It's fucking game over. Like, I don't know. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy.
All right, let's go.
I bet
Number
she's
1,
German.
the ingredient. Yeah, let's find out.
Yeah,
Hi, today
Waldhorn
we're
is
gonna talk
German.
about the
Waldhorn is very
miracle of-
German.
Okay, I might have to deafen you guys. Just until, like, you can watch it, and then I'll undeafen. Okay, there, I did it. Sorry, guys.
Of making beer, the brewing
It's pretty
process.
quiet.
Firstly, we're going to touch on the key ingredients that go into making beer, and the brewers are really lucky to have 4 ingredients at their disposals. One of the key ingredients for beer is water. Beer is 95% water, which is why it's also more rehydrating than water, but it's a very important part of making beer. Now, depending on the style of beer that the brewer is actually trying to create, they may adjust their water. They'll either harden it or they'll soften the water, and that will just change the effect of some of the ingredients and the flavors you get from those ingredients. The
That
next
doesn't sound
ingredient
like
is malt.
German.
It's probably one of the most important ingredients in beer. It's often called the soul of beer. So malt is basically created from a raw grain, usually barley. It goes through a process called malting, and it takes the malting process actually starts with the grain being soaked, which is all about trying to break down the walls within the grain and get access to the starches. The starches will later become sugars, which the brewer will use for fermentation.
Why do I think
Once that
milkshakes are
grain-
better as malts than without the malt included? Can someone answer that?
Has been soaked and it just starts to germinate is when that whole process is stopped, and it then goes into the kiln. So if you think about a piece of bread going right through to charcoal, which is where my toast normally ends up, and depending on how you like your toast, that's what the maltster can do with malt. They can create very pale malts right through to darker malts that you use in some of the amber ales, and then right through to those heavily roasted malts that you use in porters or stouts. We then move on to hops. Hops are the
Cat food.
seasoning, the spicing of beer. Hops have 3 main roles in brewing. Firstly, they impart bitterness to beer. So
Rabbit
where
food,
we
I
get
mean.
our sweetness from the malt, we then need to balance that out with the bitterness from the hops. Secondly, they add wonderful aromatics to the beer, and depending on where they are grown, they will impart different characteristics to the beer. And then finally, the most important, I think the miracle of hops is with the addition of alcohol, they actually act as a natural preservative. So you don't have any nasty sulfites in beer. Yay, no horrible headaches the next day, in moderation, of course. And then finally, I guess the biggest mystery that was in beer for a long time is yeast, a microorganism that actually is fundamental to any alcohol creation.
why it is bread
because
and a
yeast
carb.
is what converts sugars into alcohol and also carbon dioxide. So that's where we get our booze and our bubbles. So there we have it, water, malt, hops and yeast. That's all you need to make fantastic beer like this one here. Cheers.
Already, I want to drink it. I want to drink all of it. Where do you guys go?
On hours. Right.
I have no tolerance with clients that nickel and
Mhm.
dime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No
No,
tolerance
man,
at
I
all.
get it. None.
Yeah, no, I fired a client today.
Okay, hold on. I can't hear you guys for a minute.
Well, how was the
Yeah.
lesson, Carl?
Oh my god, can you not hear it?
Oh,
I mean, it's not playing right now.
yeah, Type C.
Ow.
Okay, well, we have 10 more to go. We know it's made of
One
water,
down.
malt, hops, and yeast. I didn't know about the hops. Yeah, I have all that written down. Okay.
What does hops taste like?
It says that it is the bitterness.
Yeah,
It's very
bitter.
bitter. Whereas the malt
Wait,
is
what
the
do you like?
sweetness.
It's like if you drink an IPA, then like the bitterness, that's where the hops comes from.
Oh,
An
okay.
IPA.
An IPA.
What is that? I keep hearing it.
India
IPA.
Pale
IPA
Ale.
shitwater beer.
Sorry, what?
India Pale Ale.
I thought it was Indian. Indian Pale Ale.
Is it a type of drink? Like, is it a
Yeah.
brand drink?
It's like a German
No,
type of
it's like
lager.
a type of beer.
Okay. Cool.
I'm sure they'll talk about it.
It's a hoppy beer style with the broader category of pale ale. It's widespread from the UK and in cool popularity. Invented in Britain.
Next lesson. Rewatch. No. Go to the next one. Oh, play now. How it is brewed. Come on, don't freeze on me. Milling, mashing, lautering, boiling, fermenting, and conditioning. Guess I'm just gonna have to refresh the page often. Oh, hopscotch. Ha 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 ha. Her name is Kiralee Waldorn. Okay, this doesn't want to work for some reason.
Okay, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right now, just give me a couple of hours. Okay.
Right now, just give me a couple of hours.
You unmuted.
Okay. Just give me a couple of hours.
My internet doesn't like it
It's slow?
for some reason.
It's not
yeah.
loading?
Yeah, the website doesn't want to work. Come on, page unresponsive. Why? Is it the website? Is it me?
If you press Control and F5, it does like a hard refresh.
Does it get rid of all my tabs?
No, it just reloads the browser tab you're on, but it like does
What
a
is it
full
again?
Control F5.
Okay.
Still nothing?
Like, I can see that it refreshed, but it's still on this. How do I look up if this website is down? I wonder if it would know.
You want to send me the link?
It's called
Is it public?
teepsy.com.
Oh yeah.
But this isn't a website where people are on all the time, like social medias. So. I don't
Oh,
think
the
it's really
online
checking.
hospitality training, right?
Yeah. And now we wait. I'm glad you guys are on the call then, actually, because if this were down and it was just me, then it would just have to be me.
Courses. Bevies. Tea fundamentals. All about sodies. Espresso coffee fundamental. Ooh, I really want to get into
Sodies.
espresso machines. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're very expensive. Oh, it's working.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Lesson number 2.
Okay, so now we've talked about what goes into making beer. We need to talk about how beer is actually made. There's quite a few steps to making a great beer, and it all starts back with our malt. The milling is our first step in brewing, and that's basically, if you think of a giant pepper grinder, a pepper mill, the malt will actually go through what's called a mill, and this is the milling process, and it literally just cracks open that grain to make those sugars much more accessible for the brewer. From here, all of that grain goes into the mash tun, and we're ready for our next step, which is the mashing. And we're basically creating a big porridge mixture, not the kind of porridge you could eat, although the brewers will often, have a little taste. It's pretty nutritious. But this is where it's all about extracting as much of those sugars out of the grain as possible. This normally goes for a couple of hours, and then we move into our next stage of brewing, which is the lautering. What we're trying to do here now is separate all of that lovely sweet liquid which is known as wort, spelt W-O-R-T, but for those in the know, they know it's pronounced wort, not wart. And get rid of all of that residual spent grain, which actually gets sent off to a lot of farms for cows. They love it. So from that lautering process, we then move into the next stage, which is the boil. Now, beer needs to be boiled. This is where the hops are added into the process.
So gross.
So remember, hops are used for seasoning and spicing. What the boil does is it actually sterilizes the beer. Back in the days of disease, the plague, children were actually given a daily allowance of beer because it was safer to drink than water, and that's because it went through this wonderful boil process. When the hops are added, depending on what role those hops are going to play, if they're bittering hops, the brewer will add them earlier on in the boil, and the boil is what releases all those wonderful bitter characters in the hops. If they're used for aromatics, then the brewer will add them later on in the boil. So we still haven't got alcohol, but now we have this beautiful hopped wort. So spicy, sweet, non-alcoholic liquid that then has to go into our next stage, which is fermentation. This is where the yeast comes into play. Now, for yeast to thrive, that boiling liquid's going to be way too hot. So the brewer needs to reduce the temperature of that liquid, depending on whether he's brewing or she's brewing an ale or a lager, will depend on the temperature of that liquid. So for ales, generally, the brewer will reduce the temperature down to between 15 to 25 degrees Celsius. If it's a lager, anywhere from 10 to 15 degrees Celsius. That is when now we have the perfect conditions for yeast to be pitched into hopped wort. And this is where the real magic occurs. So this is where fermentation takes place. The yeast gobbles up all of those beautiful sugars, turns those into alcohol and carbon dioxide, whilst also imparting some of their own flavour characteristics. Now for ales, this process takes 2 or 3 days. For lagers, the fermentation can take a little bit longer, but it's actually the next stage where ales and lagers really come into their own. That's our conditioning phase. So once most of those sugars have been eaten up by the yeast, converted into alcohol, it will go into a conditioning phase. So lagers, the word lager actually comes from the German word lagern, which means to store. So lagers are lagered for anywhere from 2 to 4, even sometimes 6 weeks. Ales, on the other hand, a week can sometimes be long enough for an ale to be conditioned. So you can make a lot more ales in a brewery than you can lagers, because obviously it takes twice as long to make a lager. So that's basically it. We now have beer.
That's a fun fact for me.
It then needs to just go to packaging. It can either go into a keg line, so tap beer, where the keg is filled with the beer, or it can go down the bottle or canning line, obviously into your off-premise or your retail space, or just your bars as well. That's pretty much it. So we have our beautiful key ingredients, quite a complex process to make a good beer like this.
No, I got that. Don't worry, I'm writing it down, Dad. Or unless you're writing that for yourself. But keep the chat open. How to pour and serve. Okay. Will this load right away?
A really important
Let's
skill you can learn as a bar person is how to pour a beer well. And I have to say, I see a lot of pretty badly poured beers. So from now on, you're going to pour perfect beers. The most important thing to check is that you have a clean glass. So beer is one of those beverages that will indicate very quickly if the glass is dirty, and that is any grease spots inside the glass. Bubbles will stick to the side of the glass. You've probably all seen it and not know why they're there, but that's an indication of a very dirty glass. So just check for lipstick, check that the glass isn't chipped as well. That's obviously a hazard for your customers, and just give it a very quick glance over to make sure it's nice and clean. Now the key in pouring a good beer is creating the head on the beer. The foam is really important as it's a part of the flavour characteristic, and it's going to impart a lot of flavour. So hop oils, which add aromatics to beer, actually concentrate in the foam. When you drink beer, you always want to be drawing the liquid through the head, and you want that head to last the entire beer. The last sip of beer should be a last final sip of foam. So we're going to come over to our...
Oh my gosh, hold on. This is like, hey Mamsie, that's like fancy mom note. It's like the cheese tea. That's what they tell you to do with cheese tea. Is when you have that layer of what is it, like that cream cheese that you're not supposed to, you're supposed to drink it in a way where it lasts the whole drink. And I did not know that about the foam. Hmm.
Tap here. I guess some of the things not to do is the tap and the glass should never ever touch. I see this a lot in bars. One, it's a hazard because you can actually smash the glass on the tap, but two, it's a hygiene issue as well. The other thing is if you've got the tap sitting inside the beer with the beer flowing over the top of the glass, that's too is also really bad hygiene. So we always want to keep the glass well clear of the tap. We're going to come in under the tap at about 45 degrees and we're going to pour the beer in 2 pours. So that first pour is all about creating the head. When we want to create the head, we straighten the glass and lower the glass and we just pop that down. You can see we've got a nice level of head there. We use that rest to then
Hold on, I'm backing up to where she did the 2 different pours.
That too is also really bad hygiene. So we always want to keep the glass well clear of the tap. We're going to come in under the tap at about 45 degrees and we're going to pour the beer in 2 pours. So that first pour is all about creating the head. When we want to create the head, we straighten the glass and lower the glass and we just pop that down. You can see we've got a nice level of head there. We use that rest to then take the transaction, do the transaction with the customer.
How is that 2 pours though?
Take their money, let the beer set. Just that rest is solidifying the foam, so you're going to create a really stable base for the head. We then come back to the beer and then we can top the beer up. And when you're handing the beer to your customer on a coaster, of course, they can then take that beer straight away and enjoy it at its best. I'm going to pour a nice flat beer. Actually, nothing's nice about flat beer, but a lot of people want a beer without head. Let's just show you why that's not a great idea.
Here we go.
So to create a very, very flat looking beer, we keep the beer glass very close to the tap and we pour on quite an angle, and you can see because we're not straightening the glass, we're not building any head there. So we've got that lovely looking, pretty nasty flat beer, and we'll just pour a nice beer where we've got some head on it. Straighten up the glass, let it sit for a couple of seconds. We really only need 3 to 5 seconds for that rest. Top it up. I mean, if you look at the difference in those 2 beers, this one just looks so much more appealing. But let's have a look. Pretend this is your customer's stomach. When we've poured a beer where we've released the carbon dioxide out of the liquid and it hits your customer's stomach, you can see there's no reaction at all in the glass.
Okay.
Let's have a look where all of that carbon dioxide is still trapped in the liquid. What happens when it goes into your customer's stomach? See all that head formation? That basically will take place in your customer's stomach. So what that means is they'll sit there and they may have 2 of those beers and start thinking, wow, I'm really feeling a bit full now. I think I might just go home. However, if they're drinking these beers, the well-poured beers, they can sit there all afternoon, order some food. You'll just find they're going to have a much better beer experience, feel better, and actually enjoy their time at your venue a lot more. A lot of people ask me about glassware, whether it should be in the fridge, out of the fridge. I always say keep your beer glasses out of the fridge. One, your beer's cold enough anyway. It should be coming out of the taps at exactly the right temperature. By putting it into a chill glass, you're just reducing the temperature of the beer and reducing the flavour of the beer. And 2, you can get fridge taint in your glasses as well, which is not a great characteristic to add into the beer. So save that space. It's expensive space that you're paying for in your venues. Save that space for more beer, wine, champagne, cider, but really you don't need to use it for glassware. Now, there are always some issues with tap beer. It's inevitable. There's mechanics involved, there's gas involved. So the first thing, if you ever have issues when you are pouring tap beer, speak to a manager. Don't continue to try to fix it, thinking if you just keep pouring beer, it might right itself. Just get someone who can help you figure out what the issue is. Generally, you're going to have a problem with either over foaming beer or under foaming beer. So it could be a pressure issue. It could be the fact that your kegs in the cool room aren't actually cold enough. If they're not cold enough, the beer is going to come out very heady. Your first beers as well of the day are always going to be foam. So just run off a little bit of that foam. Once it starts coming through the tap nice and clear, that's when you're ready to start pouring. And give each beer a bit of a check as well. Just make sure it looks as it should in the glass. And if you do all of those things, your customers will absolutely love coming to your venue for beer. And word gets around. People know the good beer venues and the ones that aren't so great.
Anakin,
so really
thanks.
take care, take your time, and pour great beer for your customers.
Let's go. Okay, one second.
So we
My internet's working.
Something else, because one is like chicken with like veggies in the form of a pie, and the other one is like a pie, but there's like beef inside the pie. So one of them is called a shepherd's pie or something, right? And the other one is called something else. Oh, hello, Cha.
Hi. I could go for a shepherd's pie right now, even though
I
deer
have,
freaks
like,
me out.
I have two in my freezer right now because I'm kind of feeling a craving.
I wish I had a hot pocket. That's what I'm craving.
A hot pocket?
Yes. Okay.
I have a few Jamaican patties too.
How's the class going?
I mean, this last one has been very informative.
What did you learn? How would you
Well,
summarize the lesson?
do you drink your beer? How much foam do you put? How
Oh,
much of a head do you have
I'm
on it?
from Germany and Europe. In Europe, a beer with a good amount of foam is mandatory. Here in Canada, people don't want any foam, and it's just disgusting to me that people want to remove the foam from a beer. The body, the foam really adds to the body. You know what I mean? Like,
That's what they're saying, and they're saying that if you drink it without adding foam to the top, it foams in your stomach and makes you really, really full really fast. So you should have foam on your beer. Any point. Okay, now it's back, but I just don't like that it makes two separate streams when it does that. It's so annoying. Okay, well, on to the next one.
We know that there are only two styles of beer, ales and lagers. Lagers are our bottom fermenting, cool conditioned, beautiful, clean, crisp and refreshing styles of beer. One of the most popular styles of our lager is the Pilsner style. It's the most widely consumed beer style around the world. Now, the Pilsner has a wonderful history. It's the only beer with an actual birth date. It was first created in the little town of Pilsen in the Czech Republic back in 1842. Now, the Pilsner townsfolk, or the Pilsen townsfolk, were very passionate about their beer, but they were finding that they just weren't able to keep it from spoiling. They'd heard about this new wonderful lagering process happening in Germany, so they recruited a young German brewer, Joseph Groll, who brought some interesting lager yeast over from Germany with him. They purpose-built a brewery in the town of Pilsen and literally opened the doors to Joseph and said, go in there and brew an amazing new style of beer. It took Joseph about 3 years, but on the 5th of October 1842, Joseph Groll emerged with the first ever clear golden lager. They dubbed it Pilsner, and it, as I said, is now one of the most popular beer styles around the world. This beer here, actually, Pilsner Urquell. Urquell means from the source. That is based on the original first ever Pilsner that was brewed back in 1842. So a Pilsner will always have that lovely clear golden colour, that beautiful white foam, and will have some nice hop characteristic to it. It's still a very, very easy drinking style of lager, but the unique hop that was used came from the Czech Republic. It was called the Saaz hop. So you'll often find the beer's got a really nice sort of soft honey or toasty character from the lighter malts, but it's always going to have that beautiful, delicate, floral, spicy hop character. Now, if your customers are looking for something really refreshing, a Pilsner style is a great one to recommend for them. So once word got out that this Pilsner was, very exciting, everyone wanted to drink it, the Germans started brewing their own Bavarian style Pilsners, and now you can find Pilsner around the world. Now, some of the most, I guess, common Pilsner styles of beer from an international point of view are your Becks, your Heinekens, your Stella Artois. These beers all used to be brewed in their hometowns in Germany, in Belgium, in Holland, but now they're brewed locally. And you'll often get some pushback on this local versus the original in terms of flavour. A lot of people will say it doesn't taste as good now that it's brewed locally. Well, actually it tastes exactly as it should. It's just that those beers that were coming from those European countries were old, they were aged. And we always say with beer, fresh is absolutely best. So if you can get a beer the day it leaves the brewery, that is the best time to drink a good, local, freshly brewed Pilsner. So cheers to that.
Cool. Okay, I'm going to refresh. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to...
You'll probably
pause. And you said chat isn't refreshing. Bam. Connection is better now. I had to reboot my computer? What? My stream went down. Wait, is it delayed for anyone else? How delayed? Test. Oh yeah, chat is just not working. Why? Chat. Where are you? Chat box. Okay. That should be fine.
I have some. Okay, we unmuted. We can't talk about this anymore. Hello,
What
Char.
were you talking about?
No, nothing. It's good. Just Hayden, remember, it expires in 48 hours.
Oh, Hayden, I missed you.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm here.
Hi.
I'm here. I'm just chilling. I'm watching Dakota. He's looking like he's talking to a girl or something. I don't know what it is. He's got more
He
stuff.
definitely is. 100%.
You think
Wait,
he is?
really?
I think he's talking to a hot girl. I think he is.
Oh, that's why he's blushing. His face is all red.
Yeah, he's talking to a hot girl.
Oh my god!
Wait,
And
like
he made
on
his
voice
bed.
or like texting?
He made his bed
Ooh, I think
too.
both.
I'm
Oh,
pretty sure. Yeah.
I mean, what
There's a
currently? He's
bloody
on
on
stream.
he's on
Oh,
stream. Who's
no,
he playing with?
He's
Oh, I
playing with
see.
Piggly. I told you.
Oh my god! No way! What? Grunge, this is the first time hearing this.
Let's go, Dakota.
Dick Throda.
God damn it!
All right, I muted them again. Next lesson. Pale Ale and IPA basics. Here we go about IPAs.
Probably becoming very, very familiar with the term pale ale. It's one of the most popular styles of beer that we're drinking in Australia and around the world now. With the advent of craft beer, craft brewers love their hops, and that's what this style is all about. But let's go back to the origins of pale ale. So pale ale originated in the UK. It was around the time of the Industrial Revolution. When you look at these beers, you probably think, they're not all that pale really. You expect something very, very light in colour with that description. But what was happening around that time is that beers were very dark in colour. The way that malt was created was very crude. So malt was being kilned over an open fire, which meant that the malt had a smoky characteristic to it, but it was also quite dark. So the majority of beers around that time were very dark. As technology improved, the malt was able to be made a lot lighter, a lot paler in colour. So brewers started implementing and using these paler malts and creating this new style of beer, pale ale. At the same time, there was a very heavy tax on glass in the UK. This tax was abolished and people started now drinking beer out of glass rather than their pewter or ceramic mugs, and they could compare the difference in colour. So compared to a dark beer that they were used to drinking, these beers were very pale. Now, when we talk about pale ales, hops are one of the dominant flavour characteristics. The English pale ale style will obviously focus on those beautiful English hops, which are quite earthy, woody, have some lovely herbal characteristics. They tend to sit around the 4% mark. So this Timothy Taylor's is a classic English style pale ale. The English pale ales around that 4% mark. Your Australian American pale ales will probably sit 5.5% alcohol mark. Let's move on to IPAs, or the India Pale Ale. So again, its home, its roots, its origins are back in the UK. So they've been brewed for quite a long time in the UK. These beers have a bigger hop characteristic than your traditional pale ales, but they also have that little bit more alcohol as well. Now, these were a very popular style that were being used to replenish all of those lovely Brits in India when India was being colonised. So with that extra level of hop and that extra bit of alcohol, they actually survived that very arduous journey to India. Now, very, very popular amongst the craft breweries. What you'll find across this whole pale ale category though, is that you need to have that lovely malt backbone. So you're going to expect some beautiful caramel characteristics to just balance out that extra level of hops. Now, for your customers, if they're looking for something with a little bit more flavour, something that's still quite refreshing, these pale ales are a great recommendation. What we're seeing now though as well is the brewers are now bringing back some of that alcohol, some of that hop characteristic, and just creating these more sessionable, less challenging pale ales, still with a lovely flavour balance, but just a little bit more approachable. So a great recommendation for customers who are wanting to move out of, potentially those mainstream beers and into something with a little bit more flavour. These more sessionable pale ales are a great recommendation. So a really, really popular style of beer. I'd encourage you to get out and just try a few. They're all going to have slightly different characteristics, but they're going to have that lovely fresh hop note and that beautiful malt backbone. Cheers.
Wheat beer basics is next. I do like checking in on the boys to see what they're talking about in between.
There are
She just finished a lesson, so I feel like.
But dude, I just feel like you should take your time before you just join a nudist colony. Oh, hello, Cha.
Very good, very good. You're smart.
Oh, I said you were gonna join soon because you had just finished a lesson.
No, I know,
I called
but you had this prepped. You were ready.
I'm just very good at being impromptu, like an actor.
Well, hey, okay, you don't need to be good at improv to be a good actor.
I used to do improv like classes in like grade 7. They were really fun.
I hope that I'm okay at improv now. I always used to say I was so bad at it, because I kind of was.
Okay, what if I give you like a prompt and you have to just go with it?
It depends. I don't know. This is not improv night. We'll make improv night another night.
Oh, okay.
January, February are not good times to join a nudist colony.
Yeah.
Hey,
Okay.
January, February are not a good time to join a nudist colony. Says my mom. Just so you know.
What? How does she know that?
Experience. Okay. Bam, 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 bam. I always love when these people, it's like a completely different day when they film the next section.
Two key and very common styles of wheat beer. The first hails from Germany, the Hefeweizen. So Hef actually means yeast.
Okay, hold on. Something I need to pause. Hefe. Wheat. Cool.
In German, and Weizen meaning wheat. This style of beer is driven, well, the flavour is very much driven from that yeast characteristic. So whenever you smell a Hefeweizen, you should be picking up some beautiful banana characteristics, and they can range anything from those sweet banana lolly notes right through to ripe banana skin. You might also pick up a little bit of clovey phenolic characteristic, and you're going to get just a little.
Okay, hold on. What is that word? I need to go back and just put hops characteristic in pale ale.
Little bit of sweetness as well. But wheat beers typically will have a beautiful big white fluffy head and very, very light in flavour. So they're great for those customers who don't necessarily want a beer that's got that big hop characteristic, because their bitterness is very, very low. An interesting story about the German Hefeweizens. There's a wonderful food law, the Reinheitsgebot, which is the oldest food law in the world. It actually celebrated 500 years this year. And in Germany, the Germans are very strict about what can go into their beer. So they claim that water, malt, hops, and yeast was added later when they realised yeast actually was in the beer, are all that you can put into any German beer and call it beer. Now, wheat didn't quite fit into that criteria, so it wasn't until only recently, well, when I say recently, a couple of 100 years ago, that wheat beers were actually allowed to legally be brewed in Germany under this wonderful Reinheitsgebot. Do you like my accent there? Wheat beers from Belgium,
Australian,
the Belgian
trying to do
wheat
English.
beer, W-I-T meaning white, so nice and pale, and again driven by wheat. Now, when brewers are brewing with wheat, you can't brew a beer with 100% wheat. Often it's a 50-50 mix between malted wheat and malted barley, sometimes 70-30%. So 30% wheat, 70% malted barley. Now, the Belgian wheat beers actually use unmalted wheat, and what makes them unique is their use of spices. Now, this goes back to the days in the monasteries where the Belgian monks would brew beer to sustain their monasteries. They would sell their beers to travellers, and that would help keep their monastery running. They also sustain themselves with beer. So there's a wonderful little church ruling that says drinking liquid during the fast actually doesn't break the fast. So whilst they're not eating, they had a 5 litre of beer a day allowance to keep them going through those fasting periods. Now, the Belgian wheat beers have a beautiful perfumey aroma, and the spicings that they would typically use are coriander and orange peel. This gives it that wonderful citrus characteristic and a little bit of that herb characteristic as well from the coriander. Often brewers now, again, to keep in the tradition of the Belgian monks, will add a secret third spice, because obviously back in those days the monasteries held those secret recipes of spicings very close to their hearts. So it's lovely that the modern brewers are keeping up with those traditions. Now, two quite old styles of wheat beer that are having a real renaissance are beers. The first one's the Berliner Weiss. So you might...
Is that the word that came up earlier that I didn't finish writing?
Start to see a few more of these beers appearing on your tap list, on your bottle list as well. So the Berliner Weiss is a very, very light wheat beer, generally brewed or traditionally brewed around the 3% alcohol mark. It's actually a sour beer, and it's soured with lactobacillus. So it gives the beer a very light, tart, almost acidic characteristic that people would more often associate with wine. So this is a great beer for those people who are wine drinkers that may want to start moving into the world of beer, but don't like that really beery, hoppy sort of character that they might associate with beer. The other style, the Gose. So this is another German style of beer as well. This beer was traditionally brewed with salted water, and that's a tradition that is continuing today. And we're seeing a lot of the craft breweries bringing out these Gose styles of beer. So what they do is they add salt into the brewing process. They will also add some coriander as well, which is a very traditional addition. And again, you're going to find that slight tartness, a little bit of that saltiness character coming through. They're often added, well, the breweries will often add fruit to these beers as well. So we've had tangerine Goses, mango Goses, watermelon Goses, and they're super, super refreshing for summer. So these wheat beers, if you're looking for a style of beer for those customers who want to try something different, but as I said, don't really enjoy that hot bitterness that a lot of other beer styles will impart, the wheat beers are absolutely perfect for those customers. And try serving them in a champagne flute. I love the champagne flute for these beers. They really showcase them well, and it's a great point of differentiation.
All right, I'm giving them like 4 seconds. Here I come.
Because I think like the past like few years have been busy, but being in an Airbnb in each city, like 1 month, different Airbnb, different city, oh, the dream.
Yeah, it's just very expensive. Also, wait, Char's not Devin.
Oh, she's back again.
Oh.
Fine, so be it.
So sneaky.
I mean, you could probably hear it.
No.
Oh, okay. Even better for me, though.
Yeah. How long has this been going on?
Not long at all.
Oh, okay.
Not long at
Yo,
all.
I love Anakim Luke. Anakim Luke gets my stamp of approval.
Yeah. Big troll here. Dakota's streaming himself, so Anakim is the biggest troll in chat right now.
You know, I messaged him. I was like, yo, if you copy and paste and spam his chat with, yo, I downloaded Minecraft yesterday, I will unban you whenever you want, one time in Hayden's chat.
One time.
Yeah,
Only once? What do you mean?
Yeah, I was like, if you ever get banned in Hayden's chat, you message me and I'll ban you because you help annoy Dakota with me.
Okay, we're about halfway through. Who knows?
How-
Though?
how-
One of these videos might be super long.
How is the content? Is it like engaging for you, or are you kind of like, yeah, this is cool, next?
Honestly, for the beer one, it is pretty nice. Some of them are bad teachers. Some of them are good teachers. I think she's a pretty
she a
good
good
teacher.
teacher?
Yeah.
She kind of
I
sounds
haven't.
like sometimes she sounds German, other times she sounds Australian.
She's
It's like
Australian.
okay.
Next one.
Most people, when they look at a dark beer, make a lot of assumptions about the flavour characteristics. There's some fairly negative perceptions around dark beer. People think it's going to be very strong and bitter and intense, but actually they couldn't be further from the truth. So I would always encourage you and your customers to try a dark beer. Basically, where the colour is coming from is the use of roasted malt. So
hold on, is this the kind that Mom likes with the espresso in it, with the coffee? Would it be this type of beer?
These malts have been kilned for a very long time, so they get this wonderful black color to them. And in terms of the flavor characteristics, you're going to get anything from chocolate to coffee to molasses to licorice. So sweeter characteristics with some roastiness in there, but you're not going to get much bitterness from the malt at all. So it's really, I guess, just wrong to assume it's going to taste bitter because of what it looks like. Now, there are a couple of very popular dark beer styles around the world, and they are the porters and the stouts, probably the two most common styles of dark beer. So it's not just the ales that are dark. The Germans make some amazing dark lagers as well, which they call dunkels, dunkel meaning dark in
Dunkel Donuts.
German, but we're going to focus on porters and stouts now. So porter actually was the beer that inspired stout. Porters are a beer style that originated in London, and it was the London street porters, those guys who were lifting heavy workloads every day. They basically survived on this style of beer, and it was a beer that they loved. Back in those days, it was a beer style that was created using 3 different beers. So imagine being behind the bar and having to pour a pint of porter and using 3 different taps. But they'd use a mild ale, they'd use an old ale, and then a brown ale as well. They were the combinations of these 3 beers that the porters really loved, and hence came this name porter. Now, it wasn't until a very clever brewer went, oh, you know what, I'm going to actually create my own style of beer. So they started brewing a specific style of porter, and they were very, very popular, so much so that they actually started building vats that held the same amount of beer as an Olympic-sized swimming pool. So thousands and thousands of litres of beer, and that was to keep up with the demand of this super popular style of beer. Now, unfortunately, there was a bit of an incident the day of the porter vat exploding in London. So one of these vats split its sides and literally sent a tsunami of porter down the streets of London, and unfortunately 8 people lost their lives that day, a couple just from injuries that were beyond the capabilities of the medical profession at the time, and then there were those few that thought they'd take advantage of the situation and swim upstream with their mouths open, and unfortunately succumb to alcohol poisoning. But, you know, porter continued in its popularity. They started exporting these beers to various different countries around the world, and actually started creating extra stout or extra strong porters. And these beers in their own right became very, very popular, so much so that the porter name was dropped and stout was born. So it was actually off the back of porter that we had stout. Now, Sir Arthur Guinness, just over 250 years ago, opened his famous Guinness brewery in Ireland and took stout to a whole new level. What he did at the time, though, that was quite different to porter, was in order to get this wonderful roasted characteristic in stout, he didn't want to pay the heavy tax that was on malt at the time, so he decided he could actually just roast raw barley and therefore avoid any of those taxes and create a stout using roasted barley rather than the roasted malt of the porters. Stout then took off and became a very, very popular style. And I guess what's different with the Guinness stout is this nitrogen head. So you may have Guinness in your bars, you might know that these beers are nitrogenated. So you get that beautiful, rich and creamy foam from the use of nitrogen gas. So a lot of the breweries now are brewing porters and stouts. You will find that they're more common in winter or the cooler months, just because of the richness of the style. We've got this beautiful imperial porter. So whenever we hear imperial on a beer label, you're going to know that it's got that little kick of extra alcohol. So this one's 9.6%, something that you definitely want to sip on. So you will find many styles
what
and many
percentage was that?
by the
Oh my God.
You'll 0.6% alcohol. So this one's 9.6%, something that you definitely want to sip on. So you will find many styles and many variances of porters and stouts, but as I said, really much more so in winter. And this is a beer that you should always have available in your bars during winter, because it's a fabulous beer to sit by the fire and enjoy when it's cooler outside. I always like to serve my darker beers as well in a different glass. So look at this, we've got this beautiful snifter or brandy balloon style glass. I just think it's a really nice way to present these darker beers. Even a champagne flute. They're magical paired with chocolate cake and blue cheese as well. Two classic combinations.
Blue cheese and chocolate cake, those
of course,
are not
oysters
the same.
was also another combination. So, really think about some of the opportunities. You can bring some of these darker beers into your venue, either with your food matching or just as something to sip on when it gets cooler.
It does seem like Mom's espresso drink was something she drank in the winter. But I could be remembering that wrong. I don't know. Uh-oh. Come on. Come on, you can do it. Yeah, same Anakin. Uh-oh. Trouble. Oh, no. Thank you for the ASMR.
Or the
When it comes
keywords?
to alcohol,
The
I don't
keyword
think
stuff?
there is
The
a
typing?
Yes.
Oh, yo, do you not like blue cheese?
Blue cheese has mold in it.
Wait, say that again?
Blue cheese has mold in it.
Well, that's not a problem. All cheeses do.
Yeah, I thought like cheese is mold,
Yeah,
I'm-
cheese is
isn't it?
mold.
I'm referring to this very funny Facebook post from years ago where this lady just commented under everybody's thing saying blue cheese is their favorite dressing, just saying blue cheese has mold in it. I'm gonna find it before, and I'm gonna put it in my Discord.
This is really important. This is really important for our friendship, okay? Do you like blue cheese?
I don't know. I don't know that I've had it.
You don't know if you've had blue cheese? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, start a fund.
Start a fund for what?
If you gotta
For me
expose it
getting
to the
blue cheese.
cheeses.
You know what
Arts
I
and
want? I want $20 so I can get me a nice cheap little tin of caviar.
wait, it's only $20
You
for
can get
caviar?
There's no way it's
Yes.
only $20.
Yes, you can get a certain kinds for that much, yeah.
Okay, but it's not like
from like
there's no way that it's like sturgeon caviar. When
It's
you
just
say
like
caviar, what do you mean? It's
New
like
York
fish egg?
City.
I mean, it's black in color. Yeah, it's fish eggs.
I mean,
That's-
yeah, no, but
Is
like
it
if
good?
it's caviar, then it has to be like sturgeon.
Definitely came in the tin and tastes delicious.
The first time I had amazing caviar, it like popped in my mouth like micro bubbles, and honestly, oh,
I refuse to believe it's only 20.
Okay, maybe inflation has brought it up to 30.
no, it's like $59.
I don't know. It's been a little while since I had it. The last time I had it was with my aunt, and it was amazing. She got me this caviar butter too, to put on crackers.
There was like this one salmon dip. It's like mayo and salmon and fish eggs. It's like a paste, a really delicious paste that you use as a dip. Have you ever had it?
No, I've wanted to try the salmon egg caviar.
Oh, I love salmon.
I love
Like,
salmon too.
I honestly like I have a lot of salmon because I know in like 30, 40 years from now, the fish will have died out. Or like
Yeah, they're gonna die out.
so might as well be like, you know what? I
Oh
had
my God.
all the salmon when I was younger.
No.
I want to get
But
sick
salmon
of salmon.
sashimi is my favorite food on
Yeah,
like
oh, I
the
love it.
whole
I love
earth.
it so much. Yes, 100% yes. Yes, 100% yes.
Okay.
There was like an all-you-can-eat sushi place in our area,
Yes.
and I would order like 50 pieces of salmon sashimi, and I would take like a chopstick, and I would like peers like 8 sashimis with this one like chopstick, and then I would eat like a corn on the cob.
Yeah, someone I know, we used to go to Sushi Palace, which is an all-you-can-eat sushi place in Jersey that I really want to go to again. And he would get the white tuna and have so much of it that he would have like kind of
Diarrhea.
diarrhea. Yeah, but he's
Oh,
like
no.
worth it. He's like, I can't even control the leak. It's like clear.
When
It's
I
a
was
clear leak. I remember it well.
when I was in high school, whenever we went to like an all-you-can-eat buffet, I made a point to like eat as many plates as possible.
Hmm.
So every time we left, I would feel pregnant. I would feel like
Yeah.
my stomach would explode. My mom would be like, Ash, we have food at home. You don't have to eat like 18 plates. I'm like,
I have to do this.
That's what you have to do, because was it the same at your all-you-can-eat that you have to finish your plate or else you have to pay
Yeah.
more money?
Yeah, like if you don't finish it, you have to pay
Yep.
more. Yeah.
Can't take it home.
Yeah.
I want to do it again so bad. I don't know what places are around New York City.
You
There's
know,
gotta be a place.
No, you have Mandarin, right? Do you have Mandarin?
What's that? Is that a restaurant?
Oh, they don't have it in the US?
I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I don't know that many specific places.
Yeah, and to be honest, it's mostly like Chinese dishes, but they also offer like sushi. There's usually like an entire like wall full of sushi.
I've never heard of it. I'm assuming it's like a chain in Canada.
Isn't that
Um,
also an instrument, Mamsie, or is that a mandolin?
Mandarin. It's a restaurant franchise. All you can eat Chinese, Canadian, but okay, it's Canadian. I didn't know. 29 locations. It was founded 44 years ago.
I
I'm
think I've seen
surprised.
that be a thing, Anakin.
Yeah.
No, but like sometimes we'd have to call in reinforcements. Like if we ordered too much food and we couldn't finish it, and we just call a friend to come to the place so that they could help us eat it.
Wait, but
It
your
was
friend would
great.
have to pay money to enter, right?
No, they wouldn't.
As long as it's the plate that you already ordered, I guess.
Yeah.
Wait, actually?
Yeah.
Dude, that's a great idea. I should.
Oh,
Well,
wait.
dude, why? But you could abuse the system like that. You could be like, yeah, sure,
That
I'll
is
order
true.
like 50
Couple, yeah, the
pieces.
couples wouldn't have to eat.
Yeah, no, but like that is an abuse of the system. Now I think about it, but like they would never charge us for that extra
Here
person.
in
Okay, so you got
Canada,
away with it.
Yeah,
here
we
in
did get
Canada,
away with that.
you get forks, knives, like cutlery. That's what you get. You know? Like they give you like plates, but they don't give you any cutlery. Like you only have like one set. And if you lose one set,
Just use your fingers.
oh, I hate that.
With
I don't
sushi? Eh,
like
With
I
sushi,
respect it.
yeah.
No.
can't sugar.
Bro,
What?
the chopsticks. It's part of the experience.
I agree. You're making me want to go to the grocery store and get sushi. But it's like,
I will
it's late
I will
now.
like I do try to eat sushi in the most authentic way possible. You know, like I've stopped putting my wasabi in the soya sauce. The wasabi goes on top of the fish, you know, and if it needs a soya
I
buff,
usually put wasabi on the like the sashimi.
yeah, the good places do, right? But like the more consumer oriented ones, where it's just mass and volume, some people don't eat sushi with wasabi. I don't understand that.
Yeah, I don't really use it. I think wasabi's the weirdest thing ever because it's very spicy, but then it doesn't linger at all.
Yeah,
That
it's like 2
blows my
seconds
mind.
and then
Yeah,
it's gone.
because everything else spicy lingers, and that's why I hate a lot of spicy foods.
What's upsetting is that, you know, the wasabi we're eating here, it's not wasabi, it's like it's horseradish.
Horseradish.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what
yeah.
though? I love horseradish, so
Me
that's
too.
fine
I
with me.
really like horseradish as well. Yeah.
I really don't worry. Yasmin is an exception. She can hate wasabi, I will still love her. But like I really because she hasn't tasted real wasabi. She has tasted, you know, like horseradish.
What do you mean
Have
you
you
like
tried real
sashimi more if they
wasabi?
didn't add wasabi to it? They put wasabi on top of sashimi?
So actually, so I'm thinking of nigiri, and that's where it's the sashimi on top of like the rice. and then they put um, wasabi in between. Yeah,
I want
it's like
freaking
a little
sushi
smear.
so bad. I want so many fit. This is a stream about beer, but I want sushi. I want caviar.
I'm okay.
I didn't start eating sushi until like 5-ish years ago.
For me, it was like
And
grade
now
8.
salmon sashimi is your favorite food.
It's all because of ASMR videos. That's
Oh my god,
why.
those mukbangs.
Yeah, because for some reason the way that they ate salmon sashimi, I was like, this texture is incredible to me.
Oh, I love it. It's a piece of art. It's
If
a
I
piece of
didn't
art.
if I
The
didn't see
express
that ASMR, I would probably be too grossed out to even try it.
when my grandmother from Germany visited us in like Calgary, like a city in Canada, we introduced her to sushi because in Europe sushi isn't really that popular. Even in like the United Kingdom, where Yas is, there's like no sushi there. Like it's like not compared to like America. So my grandma took the sushi. She refused to eat it. She took some German bread and started spreading the sushi on the bread. It was horrible to watch, but it was cute.
That
No.
doesn't blow my mind. I mean, it's kind of like I feel like there has to be some sort of raw fish spread.
Like raw salmon, raw tuna, all of
CJ, let's
like
freaking go get sushi together. Come on, we're neighbors. I'm down.
I was in the UK visiting my parents who lived in Milton and Keys. This was like 2 or 3 years ago, and like we went to London, we went to different areas, High Wycombe and stuff like that. And I was desperate to find myself some good sushi because like I needed my fix, and I just couldn't find it. It was very
Yeah,
expensive.
I believe it. I believe it. You know what I miss though? I miss fish and chips real bad. Nothing in the US has like done it justice to what I had in London, especially the first place, which was like American style fish and chips. But their idea of American style was not accurate.
What do they call that? Like the tartar sauce, right? Whatever it's
Tartar
called.
sauce. I mean,
Oh, I
there's
love
two
it.
different, but there's
I
two
love
different fish that they use. It's either one that's like okay and one that's better. It's yeah, I should know. It's either cod or the better one, which starts with an H. Haddock.
Anak,
Had it.
Haddock.
Yeah.
yeah.
Haddock is the best. It's the bomb. I miss it so much.
So there's cod, haddock, skate, and pollock. But cod is the most popular. 60% is yeah,
I've
cod.
had good fish and chips at what's it called? Old Bag of Nails.
Is that a chain or?
Yeah, it's a chain. Have you heard of it, Shar?
No.
Oh.
I haven't had fish and chips anywhere in the US like ever.
Oh.
There was a place here in Kingston that recently opened like a year ago, and they made some really good fish and chips.
Oh,
We
you
went
know
to
what
a
I
place.
thought? In London, like they'll just have bottles of vinegar next to it, and you just like put the vinegar on your fish and chips. Oh,
Do you like malt vinegar on like
yes.
fries?
No,
Yeah.
only in
No, not
London.
on fries.
In
I've never
London, I
under-
did. I forgot that that was a thing
Yeah.
since being back.
I never understood how that works. Like I prefer eating my fries with either mayo or mustard. I like ketchup
Mayo
too.
too. I totally ate fries with mayo in London,
Yes,
but not in the
cool.
US.
It's very popular in Germany. It's also very popular in Europe
Gosh.
with beer. Mix Coke with beer. That's a really popular choice. Or Sprite and beer.
I
Very
don't
popular
like
in
that.
Germany.
I don't like that.
No,
I'm
no,
so
you
upset about
Sounds
this chips with
gross.
mayo because it's so good and I forgot about it for like the past 5 years.
Grant, if you grew up in Europe, you would have loved Gespritztes, which is basically beer with some cola.
That sounds disgusting.
No, dude, don't churn it before you
I've
try it.
heard of red wine. I've heard of red wine with what's it called? I don't remember.
Not well, chips mom being fries. My gosh, it was so good. I can't I was craving sushi, but now I'm just craving mayo and fries. Which if you're not in Europe sounds like the most disgusting American thing to ever say.
I'm now getting quite hungry. I should I cook my shepherd's pie?
Yeah, anybody want to
Yeah.
donate so I can order food to my house? So I can Grubhub.
Grubhub.
I haven't
Oh,
Grubhubbed in I haven't ordered food to my house in, gosh,
I have an
forever because
announcement.
I've been saving.
I have an announcement to make to both you and Yasmin.
Okay.
Yesterday, as of 3:15 p.m. Eastern Specific Time, I have cancelled my DoorDash subscription and uninstalled the app.
Uninstalled the app.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah.
I've done that before, and then like a couple weeks later, I'll
No,
just reinstall it.
Nick, I need you to tell me, Ash, good on you. I believe in you. You will not falter. You will
Yeah, you're gonna
not
break.
stay. No,
I
I'm
know
not
you.
gonna
You're
break.
gonna
I'm
break.
not gonna break.
I'm just being real. It's over already. It's a matter of when, not
No,
if.
I need to better myself for Yasmin, okay? Once she gets a
Okay. But
PhD,
yes.
I'm gonna be ready.
Oh.
She knows the spreadsheets. CJ is like
The reason why is because she knows how to use spreadsheets. Oh, love
I
that.
had DoorDash since I had a business account with RBC. So like since I had RBC, I had free DoorDash. But what sucked was like every single DoorDash delivery had to be a business expense because I would not get the membership if I used my other bank account.
Yeah, which one? Well, I don't use any of these apps. I just usually do the place directly. That's why I don't get all fancy schmancy. I'll just do Papa John's when really I want to do the local place in my neighborhood.
But like in New York, couldn't you just like walk in front of your door and all of a sudden, boom, 18 different cuisines and pop shops?
Yes. Here's the thing though. Sometimes
Such
you
a
don't want to
privilege.
go outside.
I would
Yeah.
have to walk an hour, actually 30 minutes to
I
get
live in an
food.
area where there's a burger place not even a block from my house, and I could do that. It's a really good burger, but
I've hit my saturation point when it comes to consuming burgers.
just use Uber Eats, man.
Yeah, I ate too many burgers now. I don't want any burgers.
Bruh, I gotta save my money. Unless you want to gift subs, I'm not doing it. Beer with mayo? Disgusting.
I respected Yasmin.
Okay, let me get through another one of these because we have 4 more to go before our quiz, and we don't want to forget everything we learned. You guys can be on the call with me, especially during the quiz.
I'm gonna make some shepherd's pie. BRB.
Oh, okay. Shake
Shepherd's
Shack
pie.
just opened 4 blocks from me. Dude, I can't wait for the Canes in Times Square to open. That'll be a game changer. All right, back in it. Totally left Grunge by himself because Ash is making food. Oh well. Beer myths and misconceptions.
When it comes to alcohol, I don't think there is a category that is surrounded by as many myths and misconceptions as beer. Today we're going to right some of those wrongs and tell you the truth about all those, I guess, untruths that you hear about beer. The first thing I'm always asked about is how fattening beer is for you. And I guess when there's expressions
I have had shepherd's pie. It was at the house I lived in Jersey.
like the beer belly, the beer gut, of course people will naturally assume that beer is really fattening. Well, for a start, beer has no fat in it. When it comes to kilojoules, serve for serve, there's really nothing in it compared to wine. In fact, beer is often lower in kilojoules than wine because most of the kilojoules in any alcoholic beverage are found in the alcohol. Beer sits at around 4.5–5% alcohol versus 12% wine. So you can do the maths. It's really not anywhere near as bad for you as everyone says. Sugar.
Hold on. For you than wine.
People think beer's full of sugar. Yes, sugar can go in, and it's no secret that some brewers do use sugar, but the majority of that sugar is fermented and turned into alcohol. So in terms of residual sugar left in beer, on average, most full-strength beers are 99.9% sugar-free. Yay! Preservatives, another big myth. Beer's full of chemicals. It's actually not. Beer is full of water, malt, hops and yeast, and it's thanks to hops with their medicinal characteristics that actually add act as a natural preservative. So again, no sulfites. If beer did contain sulfites, you would have to see it written on the label by law. Bloating, one of the biggest issues people have with beer. They talk about that nasty feeling they get when they've drunk a few too many beers. You can avoid a lot of that by just simply pouring your beer into a glass. Beer has got carbon dioxide in it. If you drink your beer straight from the bottle, the only place that carbon dioxide or that carbonation can go is into your stomach. When you're pouring your beer into a glass, you're releasing that carbon dioxide out of the liquid, and then you're therefore going to become a lot less bloated. Your customers are going to feel a lot less bloated
Bring it
and
from a
feel
glass.
better if you pour a good beer for them and pour it into a glass for them. Styles. How many styles of beer are there? There are actually only 2 styles of beer, and I've just talked about them then, ales and lagers. But underneath ales and lagers is where we have over 100 different sub-styles of beer. So there is always a beer for any of your customers, and it's just about providing a good range of styles and a good range of flavours for your customers. And finally, let's talk about
Yeah, I'm not in
dark
college
beer.
anymore. I
One
didn't
of
drink
the
anything.
biggest myths that
College,
exists.
though.
So many people I know immediately will reject dark beer just because of the look of it. There's an idea that dark beer is going to be rich, intense, bitter, strong. The only thing that gives beer its colour is malt. There's nothing else that imparts colour to beer. So the only thing that's giving this beer colour is its dark roasted malts. These dark roasted malts will impart beautiful coffee, chocolate-like characteristics. So they're the sort of flavours you're going to get from dark beer. I would always encourage your customers to just try a dark beer, because there's so many people that have actually
think I like the
rejected
dark
beer
one better
outright,
than the light.
and then they taste dark beer and they actually go, wow, never expected that. And then they come to the dark side, and that's a good place to be in beer. So there you go. We have a whole range of myths and misconceptions that have been completely busted. Now you know the truth. You're armed with the truth. You can go forth and spread the good beer gospel. Cheers.
Yeah, I might be a dark beer person. All the ones like the draft beers, not just Guinness, but like the what's the full name of it? I forgot all the beers in the world suddenly. Like Bud Lights. That's really light beer, right? Terminology and acronyms, and now we have bad internet again. Cool. Is he back?
Hello, I'm back. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
we're
back.
back. We're here.
Yeah, Chef Mike will be done with my shepherd's pie in approximately 6 minutes plus 2 minutes of just letting it stand.
You have seen Chef Ramsay.
No, Chef Mike, as in the microwave. Chef
I know.
Mike.
No, Chef Mike is brought up.
Yeah. Like Kitchen Nightmares.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's exactly where I got that from. Oh, you really, yeah. I went through a huge like Kitchen Nightmares phase.
Same here. And then you know what? If you
I
haven't
like
if you haven't watched any of the Hotel Hell,
they're also really
you would
yeah.
love that.
I read Hotel Hell.
Yes, it's with Ramsay, but he goes to these really, really awful hotels. And I watched through that. I think I like that one better than Kitchen Nightmares.
On what do you watch that?
YouTube,
Oh, okay. That's fair.
10 out of 10 recommend. One day if Hayden ever does it again, he should play that.
Before he gets like copyright strike number 57.
Yeah. This page really doesn't want to load.
Is this class making you want to drink beer?
All of them make me want to try every one that I'm learning about.
Yeah. But you don't like beer, right?
I've never
Now,
found one
beer
that I really like. No, I mean I thought that I like the sours more than other ones, but I could never
What
finish a
about
beer. Maybe a darker one. I mean, they're making it look really good.
Have you tried like Guinness?
Oh, dude, that's so opinionated.
You don't like Guinness, Ash?
No, I find Guinness to be a very opinionated beer in terms of flavor profile. Like, you either love it or you just never drink it ever. Like my one of my best friends, his dad drinks a Guinness, and like we all had dinner once. Like, yo, Ash, have yourself a Guinness, and it just tasted very smooth. Like the entire texture of Guinness was very very smooth. And the flavor itself was like almost good, but there was like this aftertaste that didn't really sit well with me.
That was
Wow.
so much like a commercial. The way you said that, Ash, we want a Guinness or something.
Yeah.
It's great. Also, totally be hitting me up about the commercial thing you want me to record.
Yeah,
It's
that's gonna be a
February. We'll see what happens.
We right now are making we're gonna launch the call center soon, the website, the marketing material, and then we want to create a commercial and regarding like the tablets, because we're hooking up lots of people who make less than 26,000 a year, a free tablet and like free cell phone service.
Okay, great. I'm in. Hayden thinks Ash is hot.
Oh, daddy.
Okay, next one. Let's go. This is terminology and acronyms.
Now, beer is a fantastic industry to be involved in, but for someone coming into it as a newbie, it can also be confusing. There's a lot of beer terminology that you're going to hear that you just may not know what some of these things mean. So we're going to break those down for you today. First one I want to touch on is acronyms in beer. There are so many of these. We break everything down to a few letters and expect the rest of the world to understand what we're talking about. I'm going to give you some common acronyms now. You probably know ABV, alcohol by volume.
Hold on, Hayden. I watched one episode of It's Always Sunny on my date the other day, and what a chaotic show. That's all. That's all. I know who you're talking about, though, now. I'm just going to write all these down. I'm pretty sure I wrote alcohol by volume about one of the other drinks.
So this will be stated on any packaging. Obviously, it's really good for you to be aware of the level of alcohol in any beer that you're serving, just to manage those intoxication levels. So ABV is what you'll be looking for. IBU, you'll start to see this particular
IBU. International Unit.
particularly on some of the craft beer labeling as well, international bitterness unit. So this will give you an indication of how bitter the beer is going to be. Now, most standard lagers that you will find will sit around the sort of in between 10 to 20 IBUs. Once you start getting above that is when you start obviously getting a bit more bitterness into your beer. A beer that's really quite high in bitterness would probably be around the 50 to 60 IBU mark. So it just gives you an indication there. We then have a lot of beer style acronyms, APA, American Pale Ale. Also, it could be Australian Pale Ale. So when we're talking Australian or American, we're generally referring to where the hops have originated, and they will impart different flavour characteristics into the beer. IPA, another very, very popular style of beer at the moment, India Pale Ale. This is a beer with more alcohol and more hop characteristic, and that was a beer that was designed to basically travel. So the addition of the hops and the alcohol preserved the beer for longer. You then have something called the Dipper, the double IPA.
Hold on. The Dipper. The Big Dipper and the Small Dipper.
IPA. So that's a bigger, more hop driven, higher alcohol version of the IPA. ESB, extra special bitter, a beautiful.
So many words.
English style beer, generally very malt driven with some of those lovely earthy and delicate hop characteristics. And then finally the RIS, the Russian.
Okay. S.
Imperial Stout, which will be a very big, again, high level. Whenever you see Imperial written on anything, it's going to indicate that there's an extra level of alcohol, probably up around the 8 to 10% alcohol mark. And these beers were brewed specifically to be shipped off to the Russian Imperial family at the time, became very, very popular.
Hello,
So that's
Nick.
a little bit of a breakdown around some of the common acronyms that you'll hear. The other area that I guess is can be a little confusing is just the strength of beer. Beer is probably one of the only categories that offers options that come in different strengths. So when we're talking about full strength beer, generally that will be between about 4 and 5.5% alcohol. There's a lot, this is a big market, so a lot of the beers that are produced sit in that full strength segment. We then have mid-strength, and we're seeing this is becoming actually a growing segment. They generally sit around the 3.5% mark. And then we have light beer. So light beer you don't see a huge amount of anymore. People tend to be drinking better, but drinking less. They're certainly managing their alcohol intake by actually consuming less beer overall, but light's a very functional beer style that you should always have on offer. Sits at around the 2.5% alcohol mark. Low carb, you're probably all familiar with the term low carb. What does it actually mean? Well, beer itself is fairly low carb anyway. But all that's happened in this beer is that the carbs have been reduced by about a third. So that's what we're talking about with low carb, but generally they're still full strength. So you still need to understand that most low carb beers will still sit in that full strength segment. That's it, you know, there's some breakdowns, some of the mysteries hopefully solved for you that will just help when you're coming across all of this weird and wonderful beer terminology.
Okay, I'm just gonna do the next one. No, that was a myth. They said it's a myth that beer is fattening. It has no fat, and it's actually better for you. It has less calories than wine. How to taste and appreciate beer. All right, here we go, everyone. Pay attention. If the page loads. okay, I guess we wait.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Totally.
right. When you come to Baltimore, then we can just we'll ice each other.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be awesome. And then Char can make sure both of us get home all right, you know? Like I
Why
don't
am
have
I always in charge?
We'll both lose our glasses and
This
I
is
don't
why
have
I had such a good time in Phantom, is I had other people take care of me, which doesn't get to happen because I'm normally the mom friend. And I'm sure
I
the
would
people
say
that took
like
care of me are like, oh, I'm the mom friend.
dude, the only problem you'll have with me is like if I'm ever drunk, I will just high five homeless people and stuff like that. Like
there's
I
nothing wrong with that.
that's nothing wrong with that. But I would also start hugging people like, yo, let's take more shots, let's go. But like I I'm not a liability, don't worry.
Wow, this really just is having a hard time loading.
I'm surprised they don't just upload the videos to YouTube. And then I guess there's
Well,
like a wall with some of them, right?
yes, but you also get a certificate for doing it.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Ugh.
Oops.
Is my shepherd's pie done yet?
Has it not been done yet?
Don't you just like put it in the microwave? How
I
long
know.
has it been in the
Oh
microwave?
my god, it's been 30 minutes. Now it's cold. Damn it.
I'll know when she starts talking. Have you taken your vitamins today, chat? I have 2 vitamins. I have the woman's multivitamin.
The
And then
Women's Daily.
It's Nature's Bounty, raspberry flavored. But then
Oh,
after that, I take the hair, skin, and nail jelly beans. And the jelly beans are where it's at. Because normal gummies like this, they taste great the first few days, and then maybe it's the air that comes into the bottle, but they just start tasting disgusting over time. But the jelly beans, because they are the way that they are, solid the whole time.
yeah.
I recommend, especially if you're a woman. But I know they make them for men too.
Collagen, that's what it's called. Is it like
Yeah.
collagen?
There's
Okay.
yeah, it says that 50 milligrams of collagen in just the regular one, and then hair, skin, and nails is it's a lot of biotin and
Oh,
keratin.
shit.
One of them I don't think matters on the, or maybe it does matter on the inside. It's like it's either don't buy this shampoo because it doesn't matter if there's keratin, or it doesn't matter if there's biotin in the shampoo. You need to like eat it in order for it to work. Something like that.
Sounds right. I'll blindly believe you.
Yeah. Oh, okay, we got it to work. Cool. I love how, again, he's going for that shepherd's pie.
He's gonna have to warm it up again right now, though.
Love that. By the end of this stream, he'll have it ready.
Hopefully.
Okay. How to taste and appreciate beer. Let's go.
The temptation when we're drinking a beer is, knocking the top off a beer and swigging it straight from the bottle. Now, anyone knows that to appreciate any flavour, you need to be able to smell what you're drinking. So I would always advocate for any of your customers to offer them a glass if they're drinking a bottled beer, just so they can pour the beer into a glass and get a true sense of the appreciation. So I'm going to take you through how we actually assess a beer. I'm lucky enough to be a beer judge. It's a hard job, someone's got to do it. We put our bodies on the line a few times a year and get to taste great beer. But when we're judging beer, there's a few things that we actually go through, and I would highly recommend you doing this when you get a new beer on tap, just so that you've got in your head, you've got your description of what that beer is for you. So the first thing we always do is we look at the beer. We drink with our eyes, we eat with our eyes. We're looking at three things with beer. We're looking at the colour of the beer. So hold it up to a nice light source. You can see this has got that beautiful copper colour to it. We look at the carbonation on the beer as well. So we're looking at the foam of the beer, how well it's holding its head, the colour of the bubble, the size of the bubble. This has got a beautiful fine little bubble. I always say little bubbles, little troubles in your tummy, big bubbles, big troubles. And then we look.
Hold on. Hold on. She said, big bubbles, big troubles. I just had to write that down. Okay. We drink with our eyes up to doing it wrong. Mm-hmm.
Look at the clarity as well. So what you'll find, this beer's got a nice, clear character to it. You will certainly see some beers that are hazy, and that's fairly common, particularly in the craft beers these days, because they're not all filtered. So haze is not an issue. If you see floaty bits in your beer, that's not a good sign. Okay, so always check that first beer as it comes off the tap. Generally, if there's any substance in the beer, it's probably your lines that haven't been cleaned well. So go back and check your lines first. So once we've looked at the beer, we then give our beer a bit of a swirl and sniff. So just like wine, we're basically trying to get as much of those aromatic characters out of the beer as we can. This has this beautiful, fresh, punchy American hop characteristic to it. But by swirling the beer, it's just going to release some of those lovely volatile aromas in the beer, and you're going to get much more of those aromas. We then get to sip. Now, the big difference between wine tasting and beer tasting, and as a beer judge, I mentioned to you earlier, when you drink beer and when you're assessing beer, you actually do have to drink it. So you're not allowed to spit beer out when you're tasting it. And that's because of bitterness. So bitterness we perceive mid and back palate. Bitterness also takes a few seconds to show its true colors. So once you've actually swallowed the beer, it
Hold on. Okay, so she's saying that. Do you remember that tongue diagram that they gave you, that they showed you in elementary school, where it's like, this is where bitter is on the tongue, this is where sour is, sweet's on the tip of your tongue. I remember sweet was on the tip and then bitter was in the back. And over time, I was like, was that all just like fake news? Because there's no way that salty is like on the right side and sour is on the other. That makes no sense. But she's saying that bitterness is in the back. So it was true after all.
it will sit in the back of your mouth. And we talk about lingering bitterness in the same way you talk about length in wine. So when we're tasting the beer, we're thinking about how it feels in our mouth. So is it smooth, creamy, spritzy, highly carbonated? And then we're also thinking about some of those flavor characteristics, the sweets, the sours, the salty, the bitterness. Generally, it's going to be sweet and bitterness that we're going to get from beer, but there's a lot of now very cool sour beers on the market, so you'll certainly experience some beers with those sour characteristics. So that's how we assess a beer when we're tasting it. And I would highly recommend, as I said earlier, just if you ever get a new beer on tap, spend 5 minutes just assessing it and write down your one-liner. What is that beer to you? Think about the style, think about the hop and the malt characteristics.
Sour beers are definitely popular.
When we talk about hop and malt, yeast and water, the 4 key ingredients of beer and the role that they play in flavour, I'm going to just give you some of those key flavour characteristics for each of those ingredients. So malt, sweetness is what we have talked about before. If you think about malt characteristics as being anything from bready, toasty, honey, toffee, caramel, right through to chocolate, roasted, even licorice.
Oh, I didn't notice that the things were like, oh my gosh.
If you think about malt characteristics as being anything from bready, toasty, honey.
Okay, toasty.
Toffee, caramel,
Jeez.
right through to chocolate, roasted, even licorice, molasses, sort
Oh my gosh. They spelled licorice wrong.
of characters. So that sweet family of flavour. Hops will impart, again, depending where they're from, anything from piney, resin.
I can't think of what resin tastes like without having it actively in front of me.
Resinous, citrus, fruity, tropical fruit note.
Bananas. What happened? Oh, whoops. Bam, bam, bam,
Tropical fruit notes, herbaceous, so
bam. Herbaceous. There's that word again.
very herb-like characteristics, earthy,
I'm running out of space.
spicy, floral notes. So I always talk about them as
got that all
being
in
the
one line.
green sort of flavours when it comes to beer. The New World hops, American, Australian, New Zealand hops are very bright and very punchy, fruity hops, whereas the Old World, your traditional European hop markets tend to be a little bit more understated. So they
Now you're making me drink? All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. BRB.
tend to be more of those earthy, floral, and herbaceous sort of characters.
I just wanted to pause on a good face.
Yeah.
Good enough. All right. Okay. 1 minute. Okay, can you hear me? So I put way more alcohol in there than I. Hi, Dakota. Thank you for the raid. Hello, raiders. Do I know all of you? If not, I'm Shar. I'm Arts and Chats. Dakota's #1 target for trolling. And I just made myself tequila rose here. It's nice and pink. This will definitely relax me and let me have a good sleep for sure. Deserialize, hello. Happy raid. It's the guy that downloaded Minecraft, did he actually though? Oh, bold of you to assume the #1 role. I think you're my #1 troll. Oh yeah, but like you probably troll everyone else a lot more. So we're learning about beer. We're talking about the characteristics of beer and how to drink it. What do you think I'm drinking, mother? Yeah, Hayden might have it worse. TBH. Maybe even Ash has it worse. I can't be his #1 target because Hayden streams more. All right, let's finish up how to drink beer, how to figure out what characteristics are in it. Like malt is like honey, toasty, toffee, caramel, chocolate, roasted, licorice, and molasses. Hops is piney, resin, citrus, fruity, tropical fruit, herbaceous, earthy, spicy, and floral.
Roses are red, here is my pity, in the form of 1 bitty.
Thank you so much for your 1 bit. Tequila rules, yes. All right. 10. Yeast. Now I gotta quickly write down how we talk about yeast.
Yeast certainly plays a role when it comes to flavour. Yeast can impart fruity esters, so those very sweet banana, apple.
Okay, not the words I expected.
Strawberry, pear.
Pear juice is so good.
Characteristics, and even some phenolics. So when we talk about
Yeah, she's gonna need to explain that one.
phenolics, we're talking about those clove-like characteristics and some peppery, spicy notes as well. Water obviously is the medium and doesn't play a huge role in terms of adding flavour, but it can enhance certain flavour characteristics.
We love
So
1 bits
there
here.
are
TTS 1
key
bit.
ingredients and the types of flavours. So when you're assessing your beer, going back to actually knowing where some of those flavour characteristics come from will really help to guide your customers.
I didn't realize that the half and half does not mix by itself. It did last time I drank it, but after I take this next sip, it's just gonna be purely tequila rose. So gotta slow that down a little bit. How to make recommendations. I think this is the last one before our quiz, which I need your help with, chat. If we have working internet.
Had like 10,000 users of in Silicon Valley, the TV show. Okay, that was such a bad timing for.
I don't remember like that.
I thought so. Why isn't Dakota in this chat?
That's a good question.
What are you doing, Dakota?
Hey Dakota, join
Oh,
us.
so I had just seen, like, I just saw that Bits goal, so that's why I did it just now.
Bits goal? Do I have one?
Or no, like the
Oh.
500 bits. Yeah.
Should I?
I like just saw it.
Oh yeah. This is a tiny little glass, but normally I mix it with a lot of milk, and I did not this time.
Wait, you mix beer with milk?
Not beer. This tequila
what's-
rose that I'm drinking, which is tequila.
Tequila rose in milk?
Yes, because tequila rose is like, it's a very milky drink. It's creamy.
Yeah, I feel like
Like
it's like it's already creamy, so why would you put milk in it?
Because
Does it mix well?
Because then it doesn't burn my throat as much.
Does it
Add
mix well?
I think so. I just didn't stir it this time because it's a tiny little glass. Who cares? And then for extra amazingness, just add a little tiny spoonful of French vanilla creamer. Great drink. My mom likes White Russian. She drinks a White Russian almost every night.
Oh, I'm a fan of White Russians.
This is my White
How do
Russian.
you
I don't
help
think
your
I've tried a
customer
White
decide
Russian.
what beer is the right?
What?
I've never tried a White Russian.
Oh, like if it's done right, it looks really nice.
I'm honestly surprised that my mom didn't make you one when you were at my house.
It's
Or
like
she didn't
what?
let you
Okay,
sip
so
it.
honestly, I almost asked for one, but nobody like I would have felt weird if.
Nah.
Yeah,
Oh my
I'm
god, guys, should I make a
I'm
White
surprised
Russian?
she didn't even bring it up. Yeah, do it.
no, it's fine.
Oh fuck it, I'm gonna make some White Russian right now.
Okay. Look
But
at
I only
You
have
that.
have the
Baileys.
ingredients for it?
I only have Baileys and rum and milk.
I don't think my mom makes it with rum.
Would
Oh,
it
she
work with
loves rum.
Baileys?
With what?
Should I just Baileys? I have Baileys in the fridge.
Yeah, I think that's what she makes it with.
So it's Baileys and vodka, right?
I think yeah, my mom makes it with vodka, she says.
Shit, I don't have vodka in the house.
But you can make up all kinds of things. I mean,
Just
take
drink
it from
straight
me,
Bailey.
the girl that adds milk to her alcohol.
So I should probably add the Baileys into my IPA beer.
Oh, vodka and Kahlua.
Kahlua, that's
That
it.
sounds really good.
Well,
I
we
was getting
have
Kahlua and Bailey's confused. All right, who's gonna go make a makeshift White Russian? And we're gonna learn about how to make recommendations. Let's go. This is the last one before our quiz. Yep.
Help your customer decide what beer is the right beer for them. Just start asking some questions. Think about some of those characteristics. Do you prefer a sweeter beer, or do you prefer something that's a bit more hop driven, you know, maybe with a little bit of that punchy fruity characteristic, that bitterness as well. Start with those sort of basic characteristics in terms of breaking down the ingredients. Ask them what they drink otherwise. Do they drink wine? Do they drink gin and tonic? And think about some of those familiar characteristics that you might be able to find in your beer. Are they looking for something that's light and crisp and easy to drink, or are they looking for something that's maybe got a little bit more flavour, a bit more body to it? There are 7 very clear categories of beer that we like to talk about. The first is crisp. This is a
Okay, hold on. 7. This is important. Characteristics of beer. Milk or cream, then I top it with vanilla ice cream and coarse salt. Salt? I don't remember that part at all.
great way of actually breaking down all those different styles into those definitive characteristics. So when we're talking about crisp, these are generally your lager styles of beer. Clean, crisp, easy to drink. We then have hop, which are those beers that actually hop plays a bigger role. So your American pale ales, your Australian pale ales, your English pale ales, your India pale ales, they're all very hop-driven styles of beer. And what we're talking about is that the hops dominate and are definitely really obvious when you're drinking that style of beer. You then have malt-driven beers, which are all those beautiful sweet characteristics. A lot of the English styles of beer are very malt-driven. Even your darker beers are quite malt-driven, but they're the ones that are going to impart those beautiful caramel, toffee, chocolatey sort of characteristics and tend to be maybe a little less challenging than the hop characteristics that we talked about earlier. Smoke. You can have smoked beers. That's another whole category of beers where the brewers are actually using smoked malts. We often describe those as being like bacon in a glass. You get those really lovely sort of smoked ham, smoked bacon flavour characteristics, even campfire. is a characteristic that you can find in beer as well. Roast. These are for the, you know, the big, dark, heavily roasted beers. Again, quite malt driven. They tend to be, I think, probably misperceived as a style.
Are
It's
you
probably
really,
the
Nick?
dark beer, something like this beautiful stout. People will look at it and go, oh, it's going to be heavy, it's going to be bitter, it's going to be strong, when actually it's the malt that's driving most of that characteristic. And those roasted characters are going to be along the lines of dark chocolate and espresso coffee. So absolutely beautiful. And then there's the fruit and spicy segment of beers. Now, fruit can either come naturally through the hop characteristics, or brewers are now starting to add fruit into their beers. So there's some really exciting things happening in this segment of beer. And spice, again, can come from the yeast characteristic. Yeast can impart some beautiful spicy notes to the beer. And finally, we have this very left of centre, tart and funky. So your farmhouse ales, your barrel-aged beers, beers that brewers are adding wild yeast into, creating really, really interesting flavour characteristics for those people that probably don't realise they're beer drinkers yet, because a lot of these beers can have those wonderful similar characteristics to wine, and they're a great introduction to people for beer, but also very left of centre. So there you go. If you understand those 7 categories of beer, you should be able to recommend anything to your customer that they're going to love, and they're going to love you for it, because you have given them a new option and opened their world to a new way of looking at beer.
That's it. It's quiz time. It's quiz time. Okay, so you're going to be able to see if it lets me view it. I got to get the music on. Let's just do this so that you can read the questions. A true white Russian is just vodka, Kahlua, and cream. I just had the ice cream and recently added the salt on top. It's okay. So the salt is a very new thing. Got it. Come on, let me take it. I'm just gonna refresh myself. I'm gonna look up the music then. Don't look at my recommendations. HD? Yeah. Oh, this is the theme song. Come on. Wait a moment. Nice bubble bath. You'll be the beer. I mean, you'll be in a beer with the bubbles. You know what I mean? I would like to take the quiz, please. What a bop. doesn't seem to want to let me in.
Why?
It doesn't want to let me. It doesn't want to load the page with the quiz on it.
What if? Oh no, I'm not good with things.
That's a 3-minute long song. I know. It's a loop. I gotta let it play again for sure.
Ash went to go take a bath.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
what
don't
he
know
said.
when he. Oh, is that he said it in chat too?
I think so. But we can't do anything.
Damn. Hi.
Let me go to the regular site. Come on.
It's not gonna have to. You're not gonna have to watch the entire thing.
Well, that's a garbage thing. Okay, stop it, stop it. Load, please. I need you to load. I need this certificate. Please? Please. This is also a good song for waiting. Kill the page? I tried killing the page. Maybe I'll open up. Yeah, exit. Wow. There's no way I'm waiting until tomorrow to remember all this stuff that I have in my brain right now. No way.
That's what your notes are for, though.
Well, yeah, but I'm hoping that my brain can remember it That's the fun part. This is just a tactic that I use when remembering lines. Is writing them down helps you remember it better, but... Come on now. I don't know if I should open it on... I don't have Firefox. I have Safari. Okay, I'm gonna go to just my face. So you can't see what I'm gonna do.
Wait, are you using a Mac?
No, you.
But then why do you have Safari?
Oh, this is Microsoft Edge. It just looks like Safari to me. I don't care. I never use it.
Okay. That's good. I mean, because like Safari is only on Macs, though, right?
I thought Safari was on iOS.
Yeah, which is like, oh wait, no, it's different. It's like Mac OS or whatever it's called.
Okay, it seems to be, because I'm trying this on Microsoft Edge 2, that it is the website and not me. Which is good, I guess. Oh. Okay. Take quiz. There it is. Okay, it's up. It's up. It better, if when I take this quiz, it better let me to the next page. Cool. Here we go, everybody. Question 1. What do hops add to beer flavor? Well, on memory, they add bitterness. I think they add aromatics. Oh my god. Oh my god, the tequila rose just hit my chest region. Oh my god.
Game over.
Oh wow, that's like instant tipsy. I just suddenly I got very warm and wow, I don't think I've ever felt it so abrupt like that before. Anyway, not maltiness, because that would be malt, not mouthfeel, and I don't think alcohol content. Wow. Get this out of here. Thank you for the 500 bits. That's working. Okay. It says aromatics, bitterness, and natural preservative. So that's not a flavor, so I think it's those two things. 2. Why is creating a good head of foam important when pouring a beer? It is more aesthetically pleasing for the customer. Hop oils that are concentrated in the foam impart a lot of flavor. Or the foam contains nutrients from the grains. Not 3. Tipsy happiness arriving. Clearly, it's amazing to see you. Shut up. I know. I was a lot of fun during Phantom. It's more aesthetically pleasing for the customer. Well, she was talking about how good it looked, but I'm pretty sure it's the hop oils. You said something about that, right, Grunge?
No, I just said that I have never heard of that.
Oh, but
I was talking about how big like the head should be.
right.
I think
Okay.
that's what. But like I didn't know that it was for a reason, so I can't help.
Hop concentrates in foam. Yep. That's it. What is typically added to a Belgian wit beer to create its distinct perfumey flavor? That's the one thing I did not write down. I have it.
Is it orange peel?
It's banana.
Oh wow.
Wait. No. Wit beer. White and pale. Usually 50-50. 30. Coriander, orange peel. Oh, so orange peel.
I'm a genius.
Yeah, you are. I just remember banana coming out of nowhere. That's for the Hefeweiser. I don't know how to say it. Wire
I don't know what you're
quarters.
trying to.
I know. Hefe Weiser has banana characteristics. Why are porters and stouts dark in color? Because the grains used in the brewing process, because food coloring is added, because malts are kilned for a very long time. It's the third one. Remember the word kiln. Yep. Aside from converting sugars into alcohol, what other function does yeast serve in the brewing process? Adds aromatics, turns sugar into carbon dioxide, or sterilizes the beer. I want to say sterilizes. You think so? I wrote the word sterilizes somewhere. Where? One of my notes just says, Porter vat exploded, killing 8 people. Sugar to carbon dioxide. Oh, it literally says right here, yeast converts sugar to carbon dioxide. Does that. Cool. Yeah. Mom's right. What does imperial on a beer label indicate? Invented in the United Kingdom, higher alcohol content, or darker in color. It means higher alcohol content because imperial makes me think of Russians being scary. Am I right?
Actually, I've never noticed that. Yeah, I've seen like Imperial IPAs, and they're always high in alcohol.
There you go. What's an easy way to release carbon dioxide from a bottle of beer? You put it in a glass. Yep. What style would you be most likely to recommend to a customer who wanted a crisp, refreshing beer? Ale.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're back. We're back. Stop panicking.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think I think Sweet Petite is right. I think it's lager.
Well, she wasn't talking about that question.
Oh, oops.
Someone else.
Well,
Oh,
she's
or
still
my
right.
mom. I mean, you're spoiling clear golden color, white foam, refreshing, spicy hops. Just trying to find the place where I wrote what ale is.
When I
Those are
think
only
of
stored for a week. But at the end when it says crisp. Yeah. Oh, you're right. At the very end it says one of the 7 characteristics is crisp, and in parentheses I put lager style, so that answers
Ooh.
that. Which ingredient defines whether a beer is an ale or a lager?
Yeast.
Is it?
I think so.
Yeah, add yeast. 2 to 3 days. Lager is a little later. There it is. Boiling. Boiling, it sterilizes the beer. I was just looking for the word boiling.
Your dad agrees with me that number 9 is yeast.
Yeah, I agree. 10. Which ingredient in beer acts as a natural preservative? I have that. It is hops. ABV stands for amber beer varieties. Alcohol by volume. Which of these beers has been poured correctly? The one on the right. Beer tasting is also. I noticed that my microphone just sounds god awful on stream, and I'm sorry about that. In my headphones is how it used to be on stream, and it no longer is good anymore. I cut out. It sounds very tinny, and I hate it. But hopefully soon that will be changing. Yeah. Number 13. Beer tasting is similar to wine tasting in many ways. You look at the drink to observe its color, clarity, and quality of bubbles. You swirl and smell it to enjoy the wonderful aromatics that impart flavor. Unlike wine tasting, though, you don't spit beer out. Because I didn't know that you spit out wine.
Yeah. It's very fancy.
It's fancy to spit out wine?
Yeah, they like. I've only been to one wine tasting, but like they have a bucket basically where you just like spit out the wine.
Oh no!
It's kind of gross.
Yeah. I had no idea. That makes me want to go to one though more.
Yeah.
Because I don't really like alcohol, but if you're just spitting it out, then who cares? Because blank is not immediately perceived, but is picked up towards the back of your palate. Oh, bitterness. We talked about that. If you didn't swallow the beer as part of the tasting, you would miss out on this crucial aspect. Yeah, bitterness, which I hate. Why does anybody like bitterness? Why are grains soaked in the brewing process? To prepare the grain for the kiln, to get rid of bacteria, to gain access to starches. No. It says soaked and not boiled, and that makes me feel weird. So, is that to get rid of bacteria? Help. Help.
I think so.
It's definitely not the third
Like
one.
sterilize it, right?
Yeah, it does say boiling is to sterilize. I just don't like their use of the word soaking. Oh, that's flashbacks. Okay, I'll do that one. But I don't feel great about it. What are the 4 main ingredients of beer? Malt, water, yeast, and hops. Yep. What does IBU stand for? International Bitterness Units. International Beer Umpire?
Like a baseball thing.
Yeah, yes, please. Wait, starches are sugars, so 14 is starches? To gain access to starches? Wait. The one that I didn't think it was at all? I didn't mention anything about starches. Are you 100% positive? What does IPA stand for? India.
India. Yeah.
Interesting pale ale. I like that one. What do you mean no stop? I need better answers than this. What is the correct order of steps of brewing? That is milling. They did the mash. They did the milling mash. The monster mash. It was a lautering smash. I know it's this one just because of the first two. Look for answer on 14. That's what I was looking at. To prepare the grain for the kiln to get rid of bacteria or to gain access to starch. I didn't change it. Which grain is most commonly used to create malt? Wheat? It can be made from wheat or barley, but it's wheat, right?
I would guess wheat. Yeah.
Hello, really angry hedgehog. What is the minimum amount of time that loggers need to spend in the conditioning phase? Minimum is 2 weeks. Yep. Where are New World hops found? Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I didn't write that down at all. Who remembers? It's barley, Mom? Oh no. Okay. Oh, that feels bad. You tell me you're absolutely positive. Not as much wheat, but wheat could be used as a lesser amount. I guess I didn't write these two things. Where are the New World hops found?
It says America, New Zealand, and the Southern Hemisphere, which isn't very helpful.
Australia.
Australia and New Zealand.
Did you say New Zealand?
Yeah. It's America, New Zealand, and the Southern Hemisphere.
I hate this one because it doesn't tell you how many are right. So if I mess up just one of these, then I get the whole question wrong. I need to get 17 out
Okay,
of
yeah, I
20.
think Australia, New Zealand, the United States. I think that's
Great. I'm gonna look up this green thing. Okay, it does say at the top here, malt, usually barley. So, Mom is right. I remembered this very wrong. In that case, this should be okay. Czech Republic is where the old world hops are from, right? Because it was created in
probably somewhere in
1842.
Europe. Yeah.
Yeah.
The old world hops.
Oh, that's what I'm calling it. Cool. I don't like how number 3 gave me multiple boxes to check. So, hold on. Whitburn. That's coriander. I would have gotten that wrong. Check his old place. Okay, cool.
Oh yeah, coriander and orange peel. Okay. A simple Google. Well, yeah.
And then goodness, aromatics. Okay, so it should just be 2. I sure hope. Wait, hops doesn't add the alcohol content, does it? I thought that was yeast. I don't like that.
No, it doesn't add alcohol.
Okay. Okay, everyone, with your help, we'll see if I passed or not. Answer is, well done. We got all of it right. We got 100%. Let's go. Let's
Yay!
go. Great work, everybody. I was not expecting 100 at all. I was expecting one wrong. Wow. Australia, New Zealand, America. Let's go.
We're beer experts over here.
That's right. Give me this certificate, please. Already exists. No, hold on. Certificate details. Here. Great. Download as PDF. Yep. I will take. Nope, not print. Not print. Can't do that. Save as. Bam.
Is there like a beer advanced?
Let's find out.
Because all of these say like basics. Yeah.
Well, the free ones are.
Oh, okay.
Cocktails. Yeah, could still do the champagne one. Vodka cocktails, draft beer operations, which I do not want to do. No, thank you. Guinness is its own thing.
Yeah, I just saw that. There's like
The
whole
perfect
thing about it.
pour. German beers is free. Sake, jet cocktails, wine 101. And then classic whiskey cocktails is free too. Oh, there's a lot more we can do. I know, just on Guinness.
It's a
Okay.
popular beer.
Um,
I know a lot of people who don't like beer, but they'll try a Guinness and be like, "Oh, this is actually really good."
really?
Yeah, because it's like a very, I would say, kind of a coffee flavor
Oh,
for
okay.
Guinness. So,
Goicha. You know, I don't think this journey here with these courses is going to end at the end of January like I was expecting it to. Like next month, yes, there will be more of a focus on new stuff. Um, let's see how interesting juggling even is as a viewer when it's just juggling. It's a little bit different, but I mean, I do want to finish these.
are you also gonna do like lock picking,
I would like
or are you
to.
still planning on doing that?
I
Yeah.
would like to. I'm not in a rush about it because there is a set on Amazon that I want to get for it. It's a little over $100, I think. But it's you can. It's like how do I explain it? You can change the inside so that it's a new lock to pick every time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It's a fancy one.
yeah. I'm trying to get this other screw in my microphone. I only have my microphone connected on one side because I couldn't find a washer. Well, that's not happening tonight. Okie doke. I hope Ash is enjoying his bubble bath.
Yeah, I told him to stay on call while he's bathing, but I guess
Yeah, why
not.
didn't he? That's a great idea. Terrific idea.
Turn on the camera even.
No, that's not meant for my stream.
I mean, just put bubbles in there. It's fine.
Let's see. Happy Monday. Totally was not playing Cookie Clicker for a lot of the day. Don't worry about it.
Horrendous.
Horrendous. All right, stick with me because I'm gonna find someone new to go to. None of the current
Kamira.
people are appealing to me.
Have you talked to Kamira?
I don't know who that is.
Oh.
I need music. Oh, I want to watch all these YouTube videos. Oh, fun fact, that something happened between the 2 days that I streamed. Involved a few things about Michael Jackson actually. One is that his nephew is playing him in the biopic. I like that. Jafar Jackson. Two, if you know Brad Sundberg, he was one of Michael Jackson's audio recording producers during Thriller and Bad, and I think a lot of his later work too. He does a lot of these seminars where people come in and he'll play these recordings that are unreleased. Someone during this seminar stole his laptop and hard drive, which he has backed up, but someone stole his laptop and hard drive and has been releasing things to the internet. So now we have very high quality versions of songs that people have been curious about for a long time.
Like just stuff that hasn't been officially released. Like, they're just
Yes.
leaking stuff.
Leaking stuff, demos. Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of a lot of it. I mean, there's a reason that he didn't put it out, but I don't think I can play it on stream. I feel like I might get in trouble. They might come after me. I did put it onto my computer. Don't steal my laptop, thanks. You can find it yourself. I was like, I'll play one of those songs. No, not a great idea. Not a terrific idea. Chat, you doing all right? Last message I have is from my dad, like 3 minutes ago, saying congrats.
Chat, where are you at?
I know you're there. I know where I'm going. Oops. Nope. Sam's here. Let's go, Sam. Sam, you've been here the whole time. You're cool.
Sam is cool.
Did you meet him in person?
No, because that was after I lost my glasses, remember?
Was that stopping you from meeting Sam?
That was a large portion. Yeah.
Really? What? Oh, was he?
Because I couldn't drive anywhere.
Was he on the East Coast?
Yeah.
Okay, because the last I heard, he hung out with Paul.
Okay. Yeah, he was in Maryland.
I
And,
don't know,
like,
Mom. I really don't know. I haven't gotten the message saying I've been released, but it really just, it's 50-50 whether I get that or not. My mom is always like, did you get this background acting thing? I'm like, I don't know. They just text me.
yeah. Because, yeah, what Sam said. Because we were going to meet and plus Tosh, but then I lost my glasses and Tosh was sick, so.
Oh. Oh, well. Okay.
There's always next year.
Any final words, Nick? Great. Fantastic last words.
That was really good. That's exactly what I meant to say. Let's go with it.
All right. Well, thank you, Grunge. Good night to you.
Good night.
We're going to rate someone that I've never met, but I think he's doing a 1-year anniversary, and we love anniversaries. So, tell him how cool I am. Let's go.
Is that all you get for your money? And it seems such a waste of time, but that's what it's all about.
I didn't have my studio mode set up, so it instantly went to the new one. Man, I can't ever get it right. Bye.
Moving out. Oh, moving out.